just licked your face.
Yeah, I didn't love that. Good morning.
Good morning, America. Welcome to Between Us Only.
Shows that we have dogs.
My name's Andrew, and this is my beautiful, sexy, talented wife, Michelle. We're coming from me.
We're coming from me.
We're coming from beautiful Los Angeles, California.
And Andrew's wearing John Bauhaus.
Yes, this is my favorite football player, soccer player. John Bauhaus, number 19.
I don't know.
Is it 18 or 19?
I can't see. Turn around. No.
It's 19.
Okay.
Yeah, number 19, John Bauhaus.
I trust
Probably
you.
one of the best Swedish soccer players to ever live.
We've already had this conversation.
Grace the
Anybody
field.
that's seen that episode.
I don't think anybody watches it.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of dog hair.
It shows that we have dogs. No, he's the best soccer player to ever grace the field in Sweden or in the world.
Anyways, good morning and welcome back to Between Us Only.
Welcome. God, it feels so good to not do this once a week.
Yeah.
Because then when we're back here, I feel like there's just so much stuff
To talk about.
Yeah, so much stuff to talk about.
Makes it so you guys can miss us a little bit.
Yeah. Do you guys miss us? God. So okay, let's jump into this shit.
How was the last 2 big weeks been?
Well, my sister Leah came to visit, which was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. She was here when the last episode dropped, but since we recorded it before she came, we're not talking about it until now.
Yeah. So it was awesome having her here. The last time she came to visit was with Janie, and this was back
8
when
years ago?
Something. I lived in San Diego.
I think Leah said that she was 13, and she's 22 now. So 9 years ago.
I guess that might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I still lived in San Diego.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy to think about. But I mean, it's like, so it was just really good to have like that time with her because I talk to my mom all the time about her, and my mom's so worried about her all the time.
But it's also just so fun to have her here.
Yeah, it was fun to have her.
She's never come visiting us before, so it was really fun to show her.
Yeah. But to have her here and to see how she like interacts with the world around her, and there was just lots of little moments that you got this, baby. Don't spill. You got it. Matcha. No, but to see how she acts and interacts with the world, it just like it made me feel a lot. It reassured me, I guess. I don't know. It was just good to see her.
It was really good to have her here.
Do you remember when we were hold on? Do you remember when we were driving to Disneyland?
Yeah.
And I don't know what we were just
Disney
like
music?
You and me, yeah, that, and then I got her to sing the Frozen song, and she really let it.
That wasn't Disneyland.
Wasn't
that was when we were driving back from Santa Monica the day before.
Oh yeah, but okay, yeah.
Do you want to do it like actually?
No, I don't want to do chronologically
okay,
at all.
Okay.
Well, no, I wanted to say, I want to talk about that actually because that's great that you brought that up. But remember when we were driving into the parking garage at Disneyland, and you and I were doing our like banter, how we're just like insane, just like saying crazy shit to each other. And
well, we both get super excited about Disneyland.
Yeah, we love Disneyland. I'm a Disney boy. I think I told everybody this already. But Leah's in the back seat, just looking at us like, good Lord. But I think I said to you, I was like, baby, go rip those flowers out of the ground. I don't remember why. And
no, I said, look at those pretty flowers. And you said, go get one.
Yeah. Yeah. And you started to open the door, and Leah was like, no, you guys better not do that. And we just looked back like, we're just fucking with you. Like we're not going to do that. But, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And then when we were driving the day before, we were priming ourselves for Disney, so we were listening to all Disney. It was like Disney radio or something, and it was Frozen. So I think I sang one song, then you sang one song, and then Frozen came on because I was like, Leah, it's your turn. and we were skipping through some and at first she didn't seem like she was gonna sing.
Yeah.
But then Frozen came on and she's like belting it.
She's like, this is my jam.
Yeah, she's like belting it in the back seat, and it was so awesome to see her do that. That was really fun.
That was fun. But she came here. The first day, what did we do the first day?
We went to the rooftop place, didn't we? We just had dinner there.
But we didn't do anything during the day.
Well, she kind of came in a little bit.
No, we went in downtown. We went through the art district. We went and grabbed brunch at Verve, and then we went to the flower district, and then we went to Grand Central Market.
Yep. We took the little trolley. We took the trolley up.
Yeah, and then you went home to do an audition.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to Karakara.
Yeah.
For dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good day.
That was a good first day.
Mm-hmm. You guys got a little bit tipsy.
I got some Cosmos with your sister.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun to watch you guys be silly on the rooftop.
Yeah. And then the next day, me and Leah, we went thrifting in the morning.
You guys went to Pilates the next day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you guys went thrifting. I had to do something, right? Or
you just worked out, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
You just worked out.
Yeah, I didn't want to go thrifting with you guys.
Yeah.
It's dusty.
Yeah.
It makes my allergies bad. Yeah, you guys did that, and then we went to sushi that night. Did we do sushi with her?
No, we never did sushi.
We cooked at home.
I don't know what we did the rest of that day.
Well,
I don't know. I think we didn't even cook dinner that night. No, we did cook dinner.
We did
went
tacos.
Home. No, maybe that was with Hannah.
Oh, we didn't do tacos with her.
No, we made steak and veggies.
Oh yeah. Oh, we watched it. We watched a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
You watched Pocahontas.
We watched Pocahontas.
And I fell asleep.
Yeah, I think you guys both fell asleep.
Yeah,
possibly. She was in and out of sleeping.
Possibly.
Pocahontas is a wild fucking movie. While you guys were sleeping, I've talked.
Also, let me just put this out there. Andrew chose the movie.
I really wanted to watch Pocahontas because I feel like I haven't watched it in forever, and of course,
we wanted to watch the new Moana. Andrew chose Pocahontas.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it, but I was 100% sure they took out the fucking Savages song. I was like, they changed that, I think. I don't think it's the same.
They didn't, right?
I don't know. It's in there. It's
in there.
It's wild. But then I started Googling John Smith and
the story of Pocahontas.
Yeah, she's 12 when he meets her in real life, and then she doesn't marry him, but she comes back. She
marries John Thomas or John.
Which, you know who plays him in the Pocahontas 2? I think that's Billy Zane.
Huh.
Who voices him.
And
then Christian Bale, or is it? No, it's Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson voices John Smith in the Pocahontas movie, which is cool. I love Mel Gibson.
Interesting.
I don't care what anyone says about him. I love him. I love his movies. I love his movies.
Okay.
The Patriot.
Okay.
I wish he was my dad in that.
And then Saturday morning, I went to Pilates with Leah.
Yeah, and she killed it.
She killed it. She did amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, she did a great job. For someone who doesn't work out.
Yeah.
That makes me proud. And my mom was telling me that there's a really nice Pilates studio by her apartment, and I've been telling my mom to gently push her to get a membership.
I feel like I'm pushing everybody in my circle around me to be like, Pilates, it's good. Because I pushed Leah. I'm pushing Hannah to come with me. I talked to Samantha today because her apartment is only 5 blocks away from the studio. I was like, hey, do you want to come do Pilates with me someday? So yeah, I'm pushing everybody towards Pilates now.
I'm happy that you like it and you're trying to spread the wealth. You know?
Yeah. But then after we came back from Pilates, we got ready and we went down to Santa Monica.
Oh yeah, we did the whole Santa Monica Pier.
First, we went to La La Land and got coffee or got matcha. I made Leah test matcha for the first time.
She approved
because Verve didn't have any at that time, and she approved. She got the strawberry cold foam matcha, which is really good. We went down to Santa Monica, and oh my god, the weather did like a 180. Like, it was so nice in like where Verve is, like upper Santa Monica, but then as soon as you got down to like the shore, like the beach, it was so overcasted and so cold.
There was a lot of fog that was rolling in.
A lot of fog.
But it was still fun.
We had a lot of fun.
All the rides we did on the pier, and she reminds me so much of my mom. It's hilarious. Like, doesn't she remind you of my mom a lot?
But I love both, so.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It makes me happy.
It makes me happy too. But we went down on the pier. We looked around. We went out to the furthest part. We took some photos. You know, doing a photo booth. We did a photo booth. Yeah. We went to that little amusement park. We went on 2 rides. We went on the roller coaster and the thing.
Yep,
I don't remember what it's called.
And then we went to In-N-Out.
And then we went to In-N-Out.
She wanted to. That was when you called her and asked her what is the thing that she wants to do the most while she's here.
No, I made up like a schedule of everything that we were gonna squeeze in, and like some things we skipped, like hiking the Hollywood sign or like stuff like that. And I was like, is there anything that you want to do or see when you're here? Like, and we'll include that. And she was like, the only thing I want to do is go to In-N-Out. I was like, fair.
Yeah. It was good, too, because we haven't been there in forever.
No. And that was a new In-N-Out that we never been to.
Yeah. They only have, like, one restroom, which wasn't, I had to pee and I had to wait in the long line.
Oh, really?
There was, like, just a one-person bathroom there. It's very strange.
Interesting.
But it was really good. I like that area, too. What is that area?
I don't know. It's like...
That was a really cool area.
It's like upper hillside.
The theater.
Yeah.
That theater is the theater in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, when Margot Robbie's walking and then she sees the movie.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell us what area it is.
I know, but it's that theater.
I was trying to explain where the area was.
People watching, it was a famous theater. It's a famous theater. I don't remember.
Well, basically the area is between Santa Monica and Beverly Hills up towards the hills. Yeah. In a way.
Yeah.
And it's like a college area, but it was really nice.
What's the little store that you guys ended up going into?
Brandy Melville.
Yeah, Brandy Melville. So this is also like the first time Leah came to visit me, like 8 or so years ago, whenever that was. I ended up taking her to Brandy Melville in Pacific Beach in San Diego. I don't know if it's still there. I ended up taking her there 4 times while she was visiting because she wanted to go there.
Well, she said she had to return something, and then it was something else that was wrong. And she likes Brandy Melville.
We went there a lot. But I think that's funny because I've never seen that store here in LA, and it just happened to be right there.
I've never seen it either. Like, Hannah likes that store. I know it's like a store that only carries one size, and that's it. Like, they don't have sizing on their clothes. It's just fit. What is it called? One size fits all.
I guess, yeah.
And, like, I don't mind the store. They had cute things, but it was, like, very basic stuff. And I was like...
Wait, did we see another one, too, when we were at the other mall?
Yeah, we did. When we went to New Grove.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I told Leah, I was like, listen, you have to get your max amount of Brandy Melville in for this trip. So this is the second time. Let's find another Brandy Melville.
And when you guys went in there, I was like, I'm just going to stay outside because I had to, like...
stayed outside.
I had to return some emails and stuff, but I'm standing there and there's like 3 other, like, they look like dads. We're all standing out there outside of Brandy Melville, like on our phones, just like.
Yeah. I do feel like they had a t-shirt that I really liked in there. Like literally just a plain white t-shirt, but I really liked the material and it didn't feel like see-through. So maybe I'll go back and get it. Do you want to come with?
Nope, I don't. But Disneyland.
Yeah. And then the next morning we went to Disneyland and a lot of traffic to get in.
Yeah, it was crazy. Did you see that the garage caught on fire? You sent me that.
I did. I did see that, but
Yeah.
I think they figured like
There was a lot of smoke.
yeah, but I think they got it like
This happened when we were not there, by the way.
worked out in the next like 30 minutes.
Yeah. What about that little path that I took you guys? That little back secret
that was
path?
really nice.
Wasn't that cool?
That was really cool.
I saw that on like an Instagram Reels, and you go around one of the ships, and there's this little seating area, and there was like nobody ever there. Like the second time we went there was a couple people, but it was like, it's just really private and like peaceful.
Well, I think a lot more people are finding out about it because like.
Yeah, but it's still though, it's like how many times, like even if you saw that video, if you're going to Disneyland and you probably have family or friends that you're
kind
with,
of forget about it.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, oh, wait, there's this little peaceful area that you can go sit at. Like, you're just like, oh, let's go do this ride. Let's do this ride.
Places like that they have.
I mean, I feel like we haven't really explored the little kid area a lot, like the kiddie rides, you know? Mm-hmm. I feel like we kind of skip that every time we're there. And I just want to kind of like, I want to get a map and I want to walk all the trails and like kind of look off to the sides of them and see if there's any like little segues that we can.
Yeah. You can just
We're probably just going to be in this area.
You can just download the
like,
Disney app and you have the map in there.
They're going to be like, sir, you can't be back here.
This is personnel only. We're like, what? What?
Like, I'm just looking for secrets.
But speaking of Disneyland, I was basically the planner of the day.
You always are.
Yes, because I'm the only one that has the app. And the only one that has the fast passes on the app.
And you're the only adult with us there. You're our chaperone.
But I feel like I planned out the day so well.
You did.
The only thing I'm sad about is that the Indiana Jones was closed and that we didn't do the Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Because they closed it down.
Yeah, because of maintenance or something.
Yeah, something broke and then they closed it down and then it was time for fireworks. So they didn't open it up again. But otherwise, I feel like we got a lot of rides.
We did.
We got good food. We ate like a late lunch, early dinner at the Pirates of the Caribbean restaurant.
Yeah, that little restaurant that you see right when you're like when you do the ride and you look to the right and it's like looks like New Orleans or something like right on the bayou. But it was good.
It's called like Blue Bayou or something. Yeah. It's called something.
Yeah, but it was really good.
It was really good.
I mean,
I
got like the
got
sirloin.
The gumbo.
I got the gumbo.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was actually bomb. It was too small.
You got the chicken gumbo.
I wish it was more.
Yeah.
I could have eaten like 20 bowls of that. It was delicious.
It was not that expensive either.
It was just like a starter.
Yeah.
You know? But it was just like a little cup. But
I got it was like it was crab cakes with a little apple salad and it was really good. Really good. And then you got the steak.
Yeah, which it was like, it was cut very thin. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It was good. It was good. Compared to what we usually eat when we're at Disney. Yeah. It's like halfway through the day, you feel like shit. You're like... Yeah, you feel pretty garbage from all the stuff, but I felt pretty good. Yeah. We should try to eat there every time.
There's other restaurants. We can just try to book in advance a table at other restaurants and try like the more fancier restaurant that you have to book in advance.
Yeah. One thing I did miss was that we didn't do California Adventures and do Guardians.
Honestly, I was fine. I was fine not doing it.
I love Guardians though.
I know, I love Guardians too.
It's so fun.
But I feel like for the next couple of years, until they expand California Adventure, because I know they're talking about expanding it behind Guardians, you know, that whole area?
I guess. So
until that's done, I'm fine with just not doing.
No, I think next time we go, we're doing California Adventure too. No. You can stay at Disney. I'll go. I don't care. I'm gonna go do Guardians.
Have fun.
And I'll do the Incredicoaster, and then I'll meet you back at somewhere in Disneyland when you're sitting there and you're gonna be sad that you didn't do the Guardians.
Well, but we did that dinner. It was really good. Yeah. And we did the beignets, which were fine.
The what?
The beignets, the pastries, the powdered pastries that look like Mickey Mouse faces. Mm-hmm. Everybody that knows, it's from The Princess and the Frog. They eat beignets. We also did a new Princess and the Frog ride. I liked it. It was fun. Yeah. The new Splash Mountain. We had like, I feel like we did and also we got, it was like the the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance ride, the big Star Wars ride, that one was like packed all day. Like even at like 8:30 when we got there, it was already like 70 minutes queue.
Yeah.
And like I didn't want to buy extra lightning lane tickets that was like $30 a person just to get in the lightning lane for that ride, because we already had lightning lane tickets for everything else that you like, but just for that ride specifically you have to buy the extra. I don't know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna try to find like a little hole where the line is gonna go down, and the ride broke down. And then people like left it, and then it opened up again, and it was only 40 minutes line, and I was like, it's not gonna get shorter than 40 minutes, so we ran.
Yeah.
And Leah was like, don't run so fast.
Yeah, we ran around the park a lot, actually, a couple times.
But that's what I'm used to, though. That's how I went to Disneyland with my parents.
Yeah, but
we ran everywhere.
Yeah, but you do. If I'm used to your speed walking, and like it's honestly, it stresses me the fuck out sometimes. But
I only did it when we did that.
It stresses me out
ride.
when we do that in grocery stores.
You're fine. You've been complaining about my grocery store walking.
Well, because I have a cart and you're zipping through people,
yeah,
and I can't. And then I'm stuck like 40 people behind you.
I can grab the cart. You don't have to hold it.
No. But
you
okay,
can hold the cart.
Disneyland was awesome.
Disneyland was awesome.
Okay, now we don't need to do play-by-play of that anymore because we're probably losing audience members. It was awesome. What else? It was our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And we went to, what's the farm called?
It's called Underwood Family Farm in Moore Park.
Underwood Family Farm. Yeah, it's a beautiful farm. They have really great produce. We went and picked.
The first time we went there was in 2020 for Halloween. Yeah. Our first pumpkin patch together.
Yeah, we got pumpkins that time around. But I'm like, remember? So we got a lot of shit. We got cabbage. We got a shitload of strawberries. We got cauliflower, broccoli, really good cauliflower, and really it's
the broccoli is still good in the fridge.
It looks beautiful. It's just fantastic. We picked all that ourselves.
Yeah, and it's so fun to just walk along the rows of vegetables and just try to find like the one that you want to pick.
Yeah, and we got radishes.
What's
the other red one?
We got beets.
We got really beautiful big beets.
We got a lot of sugar snap peas. We got cuties. I think that was it. And then at the store,
we got apples, bananas,
honey. You got pickled.
Got some great pickles. Oh, got a bunch of eggs in there too. They had eggs.
We got a bunch of eggs.
But
like overall, it was like $130.
Yeah, it was crazy cheap. I was like, we kept guessing as we were coming up. Yeah. I was like, probably like $200, like $200.
You said like $250, and I said $317.
Yeah, and I was like, in my head, I was like, God, I hope it's not $300. But like, if they would have said that, I would have been like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
But it was crazy cheap, and I was like, we should do this more. Because it was fun. Yeah. We were outside. We're spending time together. And it's like every
month, too. They have like a schedule on their website. So every month, there's different produce that's growing that month. So like, I think if it was more April, there was more like you could pick a lot more like tulips and sweet pea flowers and a bunch of other stuff. And if you go more in July, you can pick oranges or
the radishes are so good. You can like I was just eating the radishes by themselves.
Yeah I love the sugar snap
They tasted kind of like a spicy
meatball,
like a spicy drier cucumber or something. Like there was a little like kick in the back. I don't know.
I never really liked radishes. My dad really loved radishes. My mom doesn't really like radishes, so I guess it's like an olive thing. You either like them or you don't.
I love olives. So if you guys are looking for a good farm, Underwood Family Farm. Yeah. Underwood Family Farm. Check it out. I did a commercial print thing for a tequila company called Reserva delle Torre. Reserva delle Torre tequila.
Is that supposed to be like
Is that supposed to be Spanish? I don't know. I guess it sounds a little maybe not like that.
That sounded more like French.
Reserva delle Torre.
Now you sound racist. No, I was kidding.
Reserva delle Torre. But I met this dude on that shoot. His name's Don, and he's like also an actor.
Yeah.
But it was funny because when I first got there, they were like showing me the tequila and like telling me the different tastes, and they're like, you can have some.
You're like, do you want to taste it? You're like,
well, yeah, they were saying that I could have like, because they were in the shoot, like we have tequila drinks, and they had like a professional bartender. They're mixing all the drinks and stuff, and I didn't want to cut the owner off while he's talking. He was like full on like
explaining everything.
Everything, the little hints in there, like their barrel aged tequila, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh wow, that's really. And he's like, yeah, do you want to do like a taster of any? And after like 20 minutes of him talking to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm like almost 2 years sober, and he's like, oh. And I'm like, dude, it's okay. I was like, I wouldn't have accepted this job if I didn't feel comfortable around alcohol.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm completely cool. Yeah. And I was like, listen, I love alcohol. I loved it too much. That's why I had to stop. But I enjoy hearing you talk about like all of the different notes that you get. Like, and I'll smell it. Like I don't necessarily love the smell of tequila out of all alcohol.
I'll smell it.
But it was funny because like the bartender kept. I started shooting with another female model, and they were making us drinks, and they wanted the drinks to like be the right color and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the photographer and the videographer, they're like, oh, can you take a sip? And I was like, there's alcohol in it. Like, so can I get like a virgin one? So then they started making virgin ones. And then Don shows up and they hand him a drink. And then he's shooting with me and the female model while the other female model, because there's 4 of us, while she's still getting ready. And they hand Don a drink, and then they're shooting. And they're like, oh, can you guys all take a sip after you cheers? And Don's like, I'm 5 years sober. So he's like, can I also get a virgin drink as well? And then him and I they're talking about sobriety. And
I think it's hilarious that both the male models they got for the shoot are sober.
Yeah. And
like a tequila brand that hired sober.
Yeah. And what was so funny about it was that it's like whenever I was on jobs before I became sober, it's like you whenever there was real alcohol on set or anything, they would be like, they don't want you to drink, you know. They would never be like, oh, you can have some. Yeah. But as soon as you become sober, this is like the 3rd time I've been on a set where it's like I've done resort
like, hey,
things, and they have like beer or something, and they're like, oh yeah, you can take a sip here and there, and it's like it's crazy. It's like once you stop doing something, that's when it's like the universe is like, I'm gonna put it in front of you and see, let's see how strong you are, you know.
Let me test your limits.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun hanging out with that dude. I've seen him on so many different companies that I mean, he modeled for Guess and stuff, and I swear I've seen him on like billboards, but really cool dude, really nice dude. And it was a lot of fun. And that whole the clients for that, they were all like super sweet. It was like a family run tequila brand. So like literally every position they had there, like they were all family. Everybody was like related or married into the family, like somehow. Yeah. And the house that you dropped me off because the parking was bad and you drove me, that was in Silver Lake, right? Yeah. The house was freaking crazy.
Honestly, like that whole area was just like Silver Lake is probably my new favorite neighborhood to live in.
Yeah, it's really beautiful over there.
Like it is stunning. It doesn't feel like you're in LA.
No.
Like at all. It feels so calm and so like
I just love how everything's different, like the architecture, and there's so much greenery and like
even like the light poles. What is it called?
Yeah, the light posts that they have. Yeah. I mean, light pole is fine, but like the light posts that they have, the street lights. They were
so cute. They were so like, and like I drove by when I was like driving around in Silver Lake waiting for you to like get done. they had this like really cool like little bridge. They had this really, really cool like high school or some kind of school that looked like, it looked like, you know, when you see like those boarding schools in movies that are like, they look like fucking castles.
Yeah.
There was like a school like that just smack in the middle of the neighborhood. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? I was like, this is so fancy.
It was like elementary.
I don't know. I couldn't see like.
I'm sure it has like, it's like a private school, probably has crazy tuition.
I didn't see like a sign that said like high school, middle school, or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Silver Lake. I'm like,
it could have been in college too. I don't know.
I would love to get a place there eventually when we can, but
no, it just feels like I like Echo Park as well, but I feel like there's a smaller area that I like in Echo Park, while Silver Lake is so big and Silver Lake is so hilly.
Yeah.
There's so many hills.
Crazy hills.
So like it will be so like the views.
Some of the roads were like fucking just.
Yeah. But like the views on some of these houses, I'm like, it's insane. Like either you see like all the way down to Santa Monica basically, or you see like the Hollywood sign, or
you saw the view that I had right from the back of that house I sent you. It was freaking crazy.
It's amazing.
That whole house was like, the owner was saying that his wife is like a in like interior designer or something. So like every room was different, like just a different vibe, but just like really well put together and like pieced together. It was beautiful. Their kitchen was crazy. Their freaking giant windows that just like had this beautiful view. I was like, oh my God, it'd be so cool.
I feel like
to
my
make
algorithm
breakfast.
On Instagram has been like people renovating their houses, and I was like,
yeah,
it's a sign.
It definitely is. I see you on it, and you're like watching people rebuild their living rooms and kitchens and stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to buy a house.
Yeah, soon.
We need to get this podcast monetized so we can buy a house.
Yeah. So tell your friends about us, so they can hear us just do like.
We need to reach 1,000.
Play-by-play of our entire weeks.
Yeah, we need to reach 1,000 followers here or subscribers.
Yeah.
So, please.
And
what else has happened this week?
I've had a lot of auditions.
You have had a lot of auditions.
I have a callback on Tuesday for something that possibly could be huge for us, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
But also, whatever. I'm gonna have fun.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be good.
I'm gonna have fun.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. You're gonna do amazing. It's gonna be fine. I celebrated 1 year, or I wish celebrated 1 month of doing Pilates.
Oh my!
I feel like it's been like you guys are coming with me in this journey of becoming a Pilates person, because I talked about it before I started, about how I wanted to find a studio. I talked about how I found a studio and how I really liked it, and now we're down to me celebrating 1 month, and I feel like I've been keeping it up really well this first month.
Yeah,
because I think it's like the first 3 weeks of keeping a new routine is like the hardest ones.
I mean, I don't know if that's, I mean, I've heard that. Yeah, of course. I think like just the first.
Like if you can get through the first 3 weeks, it's easier to keep that routine going.
I would imagine that sounds right.
And now I'm on week 5. What day is it today? I'm on week 5.
The 6th.
Yeah, it's the 6th today, and the 4th was my 1 month.
No, I mean that's great. I'm really happy that you found something that you enjoy, and I'm happy that you have that.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited. And I'm excited to continue. I just honestly wish I could do it every day.
Yeah.
But I also know if I push myself to like go and do Pilates before work, then I have to come in later to work than I usually do. And that means that I have to stay at work later, and I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do Pilates after work because that's going to be so late. So I feel like for now, like I am doing 3 times a week. This week I did 4 times a week. But I'm like, if I can do Tuesday, Thursday, and then hopefully both Saturday and Sunday, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really.
Well, congratulations on 1 month.
Thank you.
I'm 526 days sober today.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I lied to everybody on that tequila job. I said that I was like 2 years sober. Because I actually was like, I'm just really bad at like
Numbers.
calculating stuff. So
You're basically
I
a year and a
genuinely
half.
thought I was like, yeah, I think I'm like around 2 years sober. And
You're a year and a half.
yeah, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fine. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't have to know. It's fine.
We went to James and Grace's going away party because they're moving to Louisiana.
Yes.
Happy for them, but sad to see them leave.
Yeah.
But that was really fun.
Yeah.
We talked to a lot of interesting people at their party.
We did. They had really good little sorry, I shouldn't be showing my feet in this video.
We might get more money and followers. Show those little piggies.
Show the little piggies. No, they had those fried little.
Holy shit, those were good.
That was so good. They were called like
I forget.
Like orangerines or something. It was called something orange.
I don't know what they were, but they were fucking good.
They were so good.
Yeah.
I don't even know what was in them. It was like
I
cheese,
was like
but it was also
cheese.
like rice.
I don't know, but that place was called what, Margot, and it was in Culver City.
Yeah.
That place was cool. It was a really cool rooftop.
It was.
Never been there before. I don't really. I mean,
that whole area. We're never in Culver City.
I've gone there for like castings and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like we never hang out in Culver City.
Yeah. But that little spot we went to was really cool. Those fucking valet guys fucked up my car. Fucking ripped off my stick shift.
They were really excited about your car, though.
Yeah. No, my stick shift on my car, the top little part, it's like kind of loose, so it pulls off. I have like a 2000 M series BMW Roadster, so it's like it's old, you know. It's fucking 25 years old.
Yeah.
You know, so there's like little things. It's in good condition, but there's little things about it. But remember when we were driving it back from Spokane? We're on a highway and we're going like 80, and I'm shifting, not trying to shift. I can drive a stick shift. But I'm shifting up to gear and I ripped the fucking ball
and
off.
we were like in between semi trucks, and I was like, "This is the day we die."
Well, I'm like shifting, and then I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And then I'm like, I look down. I could still grab it, you know, and still shift with the metal part.
Yeah, but still, that whole situation like scared me.
That was
to
very
driving
surprising.
The BMW.
It was very surprising when that happens. But those guys did it, and they tried to act like they didn't do it because it's like there was this whole wire that was hanging out. I was like, those little fuckers pulled that off, and then they're trying to pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah, they probably freaked out.
It's okay.
It's okay. But no, we should look into exploring a little bit more of Culver City. I feel like it's a really cool area.
Yeah, I want to drive around Silver Lake some more too.
With the BMW?
No, I don't care what
cab
car.
down.
I mean, yeah, we can do that, but I just want to drive around Silver Lake more because it's. But yeah, I guess the cab down. I just don't want to get sunburnt on my neck. But yeah. Yesterday when we were driving,
California problems.
When we were driving down with the cab down yesterday, my neck felt like I got kind of burned.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. But
when we drove home?
Yeah, my neck was hot. Like it was really hot. I had the sun right on it.
Let me see it. Doesn't look burned. You're fine.
Oh, and so some fucker commented on the video I posted of like the personality question. When I posted it on my story, he was like, "What bronzer do you use?"
What personality question?
The thing I posted of the audition I did on my story.
Oh, okay.
And I said I was like, I have a drinking problem in it.
Oh, yeah.
I posted that.
Okay? Yeah.
And then somebody like messaged on that saying like, "What bronzer do you use?" Like what?
You say I'm using the vitamin D.
I've fucking just deleted it, but I just thought that was funny.
Andrew tans like a Greek god. Like it's so unfair. Like he goes out in the sun for like 10 minutes and he just looks like golden brown. I go out for like 5 minutes and I look like a fucking strawberry.
You got really burned the other day when we went. Oh no, when we went out with Leah. Yeah. When we went on our pool roof, we laid out for a little bit. Yeah, you got.
I was burned for like a whole week. I had to like. Yeah. My like chest and stomach was on my hip was so burned, and it was like painful, and I was like, I mean, I know I got it from my dad, but
Yeah.
Damn.
My little,
Damn it, Dad.
my little ginger.
Damn it, Dad.
My little ginger girl.
I got the ginger skin,
But
but I didn't get
also-
the freckles.
But also though, this ring light like makes you look tanner. It's just there's like an
this is an
orange.
illusion.
There's an orange filter.
I'm super pale in real life.
No, there's an orange lens around it that like that's why I use it, because it makes
but you
your complexion look good.
Yeah, but you also have like a good base.
Yeah, but I was like offended when I read that. I was like, what bronzer do I use?
You're like, what the fuck is a bronzer?
It's like a tanning makeup, right? Like it's literally makeup.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
Yeah.
I don't wear fucking makeup. It's fine if you do, obviously, but you barely wear makeup. Why
No.
the fuck would I wear makeup? I don't know.
Yes, Andrew wears more makeup than me.
Yeah. No, I'm just naturally, these eyelashes are.
I heard
natural.
a video that said women that don't wear makeup, they're more prone to become psychopaths. And I say,
No, you're fucking chill as fuck. I would be very surprised if you became a psychopath. I would be surprised. No, she's like the sweetest person ever. I think you've become more psychopath being with me because I'm a psychopath. Because like when we first were together and I would say certain things around you, I think it would like catch you off guard. But now it's like it fucking.
no, I just
It's
fuck
like
with you back.
I say something and it's like pink and like bounces off you. Sometimes you just like choose not to like acknowledge the things I say, or you'll banter back with me about.
You know what? You know what
stuff.
the funniest thing to fuck with you with is?
What?
When I tell you I forgot my keys, pisses you off every time. You're like, well, I didn't bring my keys. And I was like, well, I didn't bring my keys. You're like, I told you I wasn't bringing my keys. And I was like, I'm fucking with you.
She's gotten
We need
good.
keys to get into the garage.
Yeah, she's gotten. I literally every time we're leaving, I'm like, I'm not bringing my keys, so you better bring yours. And she's like, I got them. And then when we're pulling up to the garage gate, she's like, do you have your keys? I'm like, what? I was like, I literally told you I wasn't bringing my fucking keys.
My poker face is getting good.
No, you're getting really good at. I think it's just because of all the audition tapes you helped me with.
Possibly.
I think you're getting really good at acting. I think
Yeah.
she should be an actress.
No.
I think you'd be good.
I'm good at memorizing too.
I think one day when I'm like funding my own projects, I definitely want to like put you in something and make you have dialogue.
just
it would
make
be so fun.
Just make it really short.
I'll just make you like.
I just want to be like a Stan Lee character. Like I just come in, I'm like, and then I just doesn't show up in the rest of the movie.
That would be funny. No, I want
like in every movie you make, it's just me doing like a little character. Like I'm a different character. And
that would be funny. I mean, hey,
I'll be down for that.
Okay, but okay, I'll take it. I'll take that. I was gonna go on a different path for you, but I'll take that because that would be funny.
And they're just gonna be like, God, Andrew Biernat, he puts his wife in everything.
Fuck yeah, bro. Yes.
It's gonna be like what's his name? Melissa McCartney and her husband.
Melissa McCarthy.
Isn't that her name? She's in Bridesmaids and she's in
Oh yeah. Her husband's like
Yeah.
he played the
They like always show up a little bit in each other's movies.
Yeah.
God, they're so funny in Bridesmaids.
Yeah. They're fucking awesome. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna talk about this. Val Kilmer passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fucking so bummed about
Yeah.
that because like it seemed like he was doing better.
Yeah.
But he passed away from pneumonia, and one of my favorite documentaries. Is Michelle gonna tell me to stop talking?
No, go on.
One of my favorite documentaries is Val.
It was really good.
It's so good. It's on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime. It's free.
Everybody should watch it.
Yeah, because what's so interesting about Val Kilmer is he got a camera at a really young age, and he grew up in Chatsworth, like out in the valley of Los Angeles with his like 3 brothers, and they were like making home movies together and stuff, and he always had a camera through his life, so like every film project he's been on, he's like recorded like
And he like
behind the
filmed
scenes.
when he was at Juilliard,
Yeah, filmed when he was at Juilliard.
like in classes, and he filmed like
Filmed like him doing monologues and stuff while he was at Juilliard, and like he filmed like self tapes that he would send to like to like Kubrick for
casting.
For like audition tapes and stuff before people really did fucking audition tapes, you know.
But also he sent them, like, he didn't get like an audition for it. He just like got into character, like how the character would act or be, and then he made up like his own dialogue that would fit into that kind of movie, and then he sent in the audition tapes.
It's amazing. And then like one of my favorite performances that I've like ever is his portrayal as Jim Morrison in The Doors. And I remember when I was in middle school, I really, like in 7th grade, I really got into The Doors, and like I loved Jim Morrison, and I was like literally like dressing like him in 7th grade. I had really long hair. It was all fucking curly, and I was wearing like bell bottoms and like wavy tucked in shirts, and I looked like a 70s like hippie kid. And I remember watching The Doors, the film that Val Kilmer stars in. And I remember, like, anytime I thought of Jim Morrison, I always, like, pictured Val Kilmer's face. Even though I knew what Jim Morrison looked like. And, like, I had I had CDs and stuff. I had, like, a poster of him. But still, though, like, I always thought of Val Kilmer's portrayal and how he acted. And it's like, he should have fucking won an Oscar for that role. Because it's phenomenal. And he, like, practiced... he practiced for like 6 months, like learning, I think it was like 50 something like Doors songs. And I think he, I don't know the exact number, but I think he sang like 15 of them actually. And then like the actual surviving members of the band, when they heard him and saw him, they were like, this is wild. Like how.
That's always such a good response. When you're like, you're shocking. Like, especially when you do like a biopic, when it's based on someone, and like the people that knew that person watches it and they're like, yeah, this person portrayed it so good.
It's, I don't know. And Alex sent me like a little, I think he sent this to me. Alex Cuba sent me like a little story that someone commented on something about Val Kilmer, about how when they were auditioning for Jim Morrison's part and for Pam, his like, I don't think they were ever married. But it was his partner or whatever. They were auditioning Jim with their Pam, like different actors and actresses together and stuff. And she said that it was like a packed audition. People were like flooding outside. And Val Kilmer rolled up in a fucking like Cadillac convertible or something, blasting the Doors, and he was in no shirt and like the leather Jim Morrison pants that Jim would wear for like months at a time, never taking them off. And he just got out and fucking walked straight through all the actors and like into the building or house, whatever it was, the auditioning space, and just was in character as soon as he was like driving down like the block. Like, I
feel like you have to have like, because like, isn't that the kind of character that Jim Morrison was?
Oh yeah.
So I feel like you have to show that you can be that kind of personality. Like,
well, it's like when I see that type of commitment from actors, it's like, it's insane. It is insane. But it's like, that looks so fun to like just fully give in. Would you do it? What?
Would you do it?
We'll see. It would have to be a character that would like inspire me to do that. You know, like,
say that they wouldn't do this, you know, but just hypothetically, what is it called?
Hypothetically?
Yes, that word. Imagine them doing an open casting for James Bond. Okay? And it's not like today. Like, it was actually like a casting where you have to go in and you do like, you read with a casting director, like in person, and you show up as James Bond and walk into the building as Bill. Would you do it?
It's not, again.
Would you do it?
No, because I think it's just, that's a type of character that like all the guys that they've hired to play James Bond literally like had that essence of like, it's like Pierce Brosnan is, he's just like, he has that sophistication and like confidence and like no bullshit.
And you don't feel like you have it?
Well, it's just, I think at the core of me, I'm not that person. Like I'm very fucking silly, and I'm like a class clown type. Like I like to make people laugh. I'm not saying that I can't play parts like that, but I feel like all the people that they've hired to play James Bond, there's just like they're not acting almost, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And also it's just they're never gonna fucking hire an American actor to play a
Okay,
British.
but this was still hypothetical.
Yeah, but the hypothetical question should be is like, would I do that? Hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Listen, the question is like, I need to, if I'm playing like a real person or a real character, like I have to have like this. It has to be like at the right moment in my life that I could portray that person, and then something that like goes back in my history of like I was like drawn to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, like Val Kilmer for Jim Morrison, like he knew of Jim Morrison before this part was ever came up for him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like as soon as he found out that they were casting for it, he was just drawn to play. Like he started already doing the work before they probably even started casting, you know?
Okay, so if you could do a biopic for someone,
I don't know. I can't really. I don't know. There's nothing that I can like think of off the top of my head right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But going back to like your hypothetical, not about James Bond, but if there was ever if I ever heard that they were casting something that like it pulled that from me to where I was like I have to play that person,
yeah,
then yeah, I would do something like that. But I would have to like have to know like, I was right for that part,
yeah.
you know, like to where it's like undoubtedly inside myself I was like I have to play that person, so I'm just gonna get consumed by him now and then like go
because
into
also
it,
like
know?
Doing that's a high risk high reward kind of thing, because like maybe the casting director is gonna be like, oh my god, this person is so arrogant, I don't want to hire him because he just thinks so highly of himself. You know,
Val Kilmer got fired from a lot of jobs. He almost got fired from Top Gun too. But that, I mean, there was a really cool quote that he said. He was saying that God, I don't even remember how it went, but it was like, I've done a lot of bad things in my life, but I've done a lot of good things in my life. But he's like, but I don't regret any of it because I've learned so much from myself, like by like trusting his instincts. I'm like, this is like not at all how the quote was, but it was like something in that
along
sense.
The lines, yeah.
And, but I don't know. I just think I think he's a really interesting person, but again, it's like, I mean, with Zadist, I don't want to say like I was being method, but it was like I was trying to latch on to certain things about Zadist that like I could just do like physically.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be a good like little into like trying to experience what it would be like to be him, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like he's a fucking vampire. so there's there's only so much you can do. Like I'm not gonna go out and start like feeding off prostitutes, you know, like biting their necks.
Please don't.
I won't.
Please
I won't.
don't.
But I'm saying though, but to have a character that you could just fully immerse yourself into, like for for playing Jim Morrison, like Val Kilmer had his poetry. He had Jim Morrison's poetry that he could be reading like every day and like reciting, and then he had this catalog of music that he could be rehearsing every day, and like really like trying to like lose yourself in the lyrics of those songs. And that right there is like, just if you started dressing like him, singing his music every single day, like just because that's what he did. He was like, his wife that he was married to at the time was like ready to lose it because
she left him, didn't she?
Yeah, they left each other, or they got a divorce, but he was rehearsing for hours and hours a day the music with like the band that he had, like live, like with a full band, like performing every day, and he's in full character the whole time, which sounds crazy, but like as an actor, it sounds so much fun too. Yeah. And it's like, but if for me, I can't think of any character off the top of my head that I feel like I would need to do that with. Like, just, but I hope one day that I have a chance to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, to fully lose myself in a character and like, and just live in that skin day in, day in,
And day
and
out.
day out. But I'm like,
Day in and
I'm like, night out. That doesn't sound right. But I don't know. I mean, but then also it's like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, sometimes you just need to fucking say your lines, you know?
Yeah.
And that's fun too.
True.
Yeah.
True. I'm in California, wondering about who we used to be when we were younger and free. They say the time's supposed to heal ya, but I've done much. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
If we had a sponsor now, that would be a sponsor break.
We don't have a sponsor break.
We have to reach out to people.
Um,
I'm getting some emails going.
she hasn't done anything.
No, I thought
I'm the only one that's actually reached out to people so far, so
okay, Mr. I
So-
did it once.
at least I did it.
Shush.
Okay. All right. So, I don't like these breaks because now we have to like.
Get into it again?
Well, I was trying to ask you in the middle of the break of like something that we can talk about. 'Cause
No, I don't feel like we need that.
Well, I feel bad. I feel like we're just like listing off our weekly stuff, and I know like we can update people, but this goes back to why we need to be doing meetings, which we didn't again this morning. So we can have
what I
actually
wanted to update about.
discuss something.
What I wanted to update about was my green card process. And as far as right now, I think we're good. I got a letter from the USCIS and they sent out, I don't know what number and letter combination it is, but it's basically a piece of paper that's stamped.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good for like what?
it's good for 48 months.
Yeah.
So 4 years to go with my expired green card while this case is open.
Hopefully it doesn't take 48 months though.
No. And I don't
It's
think
like a
it will.
long number.
But it's just good because that allows me to keep working and traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good because I was a little bit worried about this summer.
Yeah.
But as of right now,
She's not being deported
I'm not being deported, which is good.
yet. As long as she stays in check and doesn't break the law, slows down on drinking, you know, I think she'll be good.
But I do have my biometrics.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna see if she's a robot or not.
When this episode slaps, when this episode releases, it's tomorrow. Where I'm basically just going in and taking my photo, taking my fingerprints. I've taken my fingerprints so many times now.
Yeah, it's really.
It's like my fingerprints are not gonna change. I don't know why you keep taking my fingerprint.
Or why you have to keep making new U.S.
CIS accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
Those
just
people
like
need
a
to get
whole.
their shit together over there.
Yeah, it was like they changed the system and they asked me for this I-751 case. It's apparently not on their old system anymore because they moved it to the new system. So I had to create a whole new account, which means that I had to have a new email and phone number.
Yeah.
Which is just like, I'm like, do I need a
Which
new
is
security number
so
too?
fucking annoying because it's like, oh, you have to make a new account with us. Okay, so we're just going in doing that. But then they're like, oh, this email and this phone number is already linked with it. It's like, so why the fuck do I have to make a new account?
Yeah, it was weird.
It's so
And I couldn't
stupid.
add the case because you get like a receipt number for the case, and I couldn't add the new case to my old account because they're like, oh, this case is already linked to a different account because they signed me up for a new.
It's seriously, it's a catch-22.
And we tried
it's
to reach
stupid.
out to
Yeah.
people, and it was
Yeah,
it was kind of funny watching Andrew trying to talk with a
fucking robot. I'm like, I need to talk to a representative, and they're like goodbye. They were like, before we can let you talk to somebody, you need to let us know what you're calling for. So then I explain it, and they're like, you can go online and fucking we'll give you directions on how to make an account. And then I would be like, no, I already have an account, but I need to speak to someone. But they're asking me to make a new one, so I need to speak to a representative. And then like I'd go back and forth with this fucking goddamn robot.
They're like, we don't understand you. Can you please explain? And he explains. They're like, goodbye. Then they just hang up the phone call.
I'm just like, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
It was kind of funny.
You literally can't get hold of anybody.
And then we did get in hold of like a chat person.
Oh yeah, like a real person.
And then they were like, goodbye.
Yeah, they did it to me. I waited for like, it was like 20 minutes to get a real person to message me back, and I explained everything. And then they sent me a link. Well, a link to how to set up an account. Yeah. And it's like, motherfucker, I already know because we already have an account. My issue is that now that we're trying to sign up on a new account, it won't let me use the same email and phone number because we already have an existing account.
So if anybody here works at immigration and the USCIS, please
fix that. That'd be lovely.
Figure that out.
Yeah, or just have real people that we could talk to.
I just don't want it to be like a conflict of like, when I'm doing this case and they're like, oh, we don't see any other cases on your account. And it's like, no, it's because it's a new account. And they're like, oh, why do you have 2 accounts? And you're just like,
because of you guys.
Well, you know.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Just because everything with immigration is just iffy, and you're just like, you don't want to make a mistake because that could cost you a lot, which I did. And that's why we're in this situation. So.
Yeah, fun.
Not fun. Not fun. But that's my update about that. So
now that what leads us to our next topic of discussion: magic. Is it real or is it fake?
Let's talk about it.
Do you believe in magic?
What kind of magic?
All sorts of magic.
Like Harry Potter?
Like levitation, or I mean, listen. There's they've kind of.
I believe in illusion.
In illusions, yeah, like sleight of hand, yeah, but that's not necessarily magic. But there's like a whole documentary on. I mean, this is.
Do you think we're all just muggles and we live in a wizard world, but we don't see things?
I honestly, if you're gonna ask me,
every time it rains, they like erases our memories of.
No, that's God peeing on you.
No.
That's what my mom taught me. No, I'm kidding. My mom didn't teach me that.
That was from Righteous Gemstone.
God's pissing on you?
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's like that's
no, the devil pissing on you.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's yeah. No.
That was funny.
I just had so many things go through my head right now that I
magic.
Can't even remember.
Magic. Do you believe in magic?
Well, no. Hold on. That. What I believe that we're all in a simulation.
Okay.
That's about it. I believe we're all in a simulation.
When I was little,
and the world is flat.
When I was little, I believed that the universe was a dollhouse for giants, and they were just playing with all of us.
I literally almost thought you said, I believe the universe was a dollhouse vagina.
No.
That's what I thought you said. I was like...
For giants.
That's crazy.
And I was like, that's crazy that people are controlling us. We're just there.
That you genuinely believe that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, not like I was like, oh, this is die hard what I believe. I was just like, in my own thoughts as like, I don't know how.
You never saw any of the giants. So
no, I know.
How did they move the pieces around?
I mean, like Sims.
Okay, I mean, that's a simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They controlled us in some way.
It was
just like we were just controlled by giant people because I refused to believe that space was infinite.
Yeah.
And that there was something bigger than space that controlled us.
Well, okay, listen to me. I've seen so many.
Ooh, I never mentioned that.
I've seen so many crazy things like on just when you're scrolling on social media, you see like little things. Maybe some of it's not real. Maybe some of it is. I don't know. But I saw something that they said that they have a, it's like a supercomputer that did this insane, like unsolvable fucking equation. And the fact that it solved it in like a couple seconds or something, they were saying that because of solving that equation, it proves that we live in like a simulation because it was able to solve it. I don't know why.
Was it a simulation or was it like a multi-universe?
I thought it was maybe it was a multiverse.
Yeah, I think
Is that what you saw as well? Did I send that to you?
No, but you told me about it.
Maybe it was that. I think it was a simulation.
It was not a simulation. You said it was a multiverse.
Well, but then I also saw
because I thought of Doctor Strange when you said that.
Maybe it was a multiverse, but then also they're saying that there's a high possibility that our universe is inside of a black hole.
Ooh.
That's like, this was a new thing that scientists were talking about.
And there's black holes inside of the black hole?
Of course. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, but I don't even know how you fucking wrap your head around that. Yeah. You know? That's crazy, but I mean, and what do you do with that information? Nothing. There's nothing you do.
Nothing you do.
But do I believe in magic? Yeah. Yeah.
To wrap this whole thing up, yes.
There's some documentary.
Coffee is good in the morning.
I don't even understand what she's saying. This is like a Swedish term, probably, that she's doing it in English, and so it doesn't make sense.
No. Oh, there was a Swedish term that I thought of the other day, and I was like, we haven't talked about that, but I don't remember it now.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me talk about this documentary.
Yes.
This woman interviewed kids with autism, and they were able to like do telepathy with like their parents or something. So their parents are in a different room, and they're showing their parents these like shapes and stuff and like animals on cards, and their autistic kid is in the other room and is able to say like in real time every card that the parents are looking at.
Have you seen that?
Is that not crazy?
No, I know, but that
like
it's kind of a similar thing when they have.
Oh, the telepathy tapes. That's what it's called. It's a documentary called the telepathy tapes. I think.
There was like some experiment made with twins, and they had two twins on on each side of the wall, and they had like a bunch of things in front of them, and they said pick one, and then both of them picked the same thing, and then they said okay, pick another thing.
Did they grow up together?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, but that's
but it was just like pick one thing, and they kept picking the same thing over and over again. Like not the same thing, but like the same as each other.
But were they told that they were going to be tested on if they picked the same thing?
Yeah, but they didn't know the items that they were picking.
Yeah, but if it
was like really random stuff.
If they were like but if they were like, I feel like I mean that's still interesting. But what I'm saying is like if they were raised in the same household and they liked the same things,
they would be drawn to the same things.
Yeah, they'd be drawn to the same things.
Yeah, I get that for like the first 2 times,
but also
but
twins,
after like
though,
10 times.
If we have twins,
yeah.
Say we had 2 little girls twins.
So cute.
Are you not going to dress them up in the same outfits?
Oh, well, I'm gonna be matching them.
There you go. So they're so they're going.
You're gonna be matching them too. Andrew's gonna be in a dress.
But hold on. What I'm talking about is they're inherently going to have a taste because their mother forced them to wear the same outfits together, probably until they were like 6 or 7. Okay, until they started getting their own personalities, and they're like, I mean, they're gonna have their own personalities at a young age, but. Yeah. But what I'm saying is... Or
maybe I should just, like, give them similar stuff, but, like, with the same print. So they're matching, but not matching.
I love you. What I'm saying, though, is...
And I can be like, do you want this or do you want this?
Okay. Can we have a discussion about this? A real discussion? So what I'm saying is, if the scenario that you laid out in front of me, if they get put an apple, a banana, and grapes, and... they grew up together like wearing the same outfits, and then they were like, oh, we're twins, like let's do the same thing. So they both liked apples, and so they chose an apple.
No, but it was like an orange, a doll, a Tetris cube, a flower, a candlestick. Like it was so many random things.
But they would probably be like I just could see that they would be drawn to the same thing is what I'm saying, which is still interesting.
What I'm saying is, yes, for like the first 2 items, like say that there's a doll and they're both like dolls, so they pick the doll. And then they say, okay, pick something else. And then they both pick a ball because they both like balls. But the fact that they will pick like 10 times the same item at the same time.
But there's a chance. But what I'm saying is, if it's say that there's 6 items in front of them, they have a 1 out of 6 chance of choosing the same thing. The thing about the telepathy tapes, which is it's like proving that there's something that we can communicate with each other without words or without seeing one another, just through your mind. That's why the telepathy tapes are such crazy evidence that it could be real. It's like you're in another room and I show you a picture of a dog, and then someone shows you a picture of a dog and I'm in another completely isolated room and I'm like, dog. I'm like, the next image, triangle. That's fucking crazy. Because there's no rhyme or reason. It's not like you can't choose from a selection of stuff. It's just it's like. So,
well, I mean, what about your intuition as a person?
An intuition of choosing from like millions of different possible answers?
No, not that. Just an intuition as you have as a person. Like people talking about gut feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And how you should always trust it.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's something. I feel like we're so disconnected from like the or we're just so disconnected from like from I don't know, what do you want to call it, like Mother Nature or something. I think like just because of technology that we have shut off a part of our brain that could be possibly I mean, like
a fifth sense.
Yeah. Wait.
Sixth sense.
Yeah, sixth sense. I was like sixth sense.
I only have 4.
She's special. No. No, but I feel like the further we get away from like nature, the more disconnected we become, you know? And like, I mean, like think about it, like, I don't know. Have you ever been camping for a really long time? Like, because my family used to go camping for like a month. Like we would be out in the woods.
No, I think honestly, the only time I've been camping was with my grandparents.
Okay.
They took us camping. Me and my brother, we were really small, but I think we were only gone for like a week.
Yeah.
And we had like the camping van. What is it called?
A camper or
like a camper, not an RV, like a camper.
Yeah.
And we were just like staying at different places, because we were driving around in Sweden.
Well, I mean, so I guess where I'm with the point of like curious about if you've been out in the woods for long periods of time. Like when we would go camping, it would be like I wouldn't wear shoes for like 3 weeks, and I would be just wearing like swim trunks.
I mean, that's just me in the summer.
Okay, well, no, because when
in Sweden.
Oh, in Sweden, yeah.
I was
Sweden. Like here, no,
like I would just
we always wear shoes here. We barely. It's like maybe we go to the park and we walk
like
around the grass.
every summer when I was little, like as soon as summer break hit, which was like 10 weeks, I think. Like when you were a kid, you didn't go anywhere besides like being at home.
Yeah. So
I would just be barefoot all the time.
Yeah. So and being barefoot outside on actual soil, there's like a grounding that you get, like an electrical charge you get from the earth. That's like a fact. That's not a fucking like
and
a made up opinion.
Grounding right now.
I am. I have a grounding pad. And the earth is flat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, you brushed through that so fast. Like
I think it's funny. You start like doing these weird things, and people are like, "Oh, are you believe in aliens, or you believe that there's a fucking secret base in Antarctica under the ice?"
Why do those two things correlate?
I don't know. I'm just
because
fucking
you're
around.
using a grounding pad.
I'm just kidding. But what I was trying to say about how we're so disconnected from Mother Nature, okay. When I would go camping with my family and we would be out there for like a month, and it's like I wasn't wearing shoes. I'm like out in the fucking woods. I'm like catching frogs, and I'm like just in the like just playing in Mother Nature.
Digging your feet into the ground.
I feel like your like the senses you have heighten, like your hearing, your like eyesight. Like when you're walking around at night, we would walk around at night on the beach and catch frogs, because the frogs would come up from the lake and they would sit on the beach, and we would be out there and we would catch frogs and stuff. I caught a frog named Fuji. I had him for 4 years. And it's again, like, I feel really bad for him, because like I took him from being in the wild. Brought him home. I gave him a really sick tank, and I gave him so many crickets, and I cuddled with him, and I got warts all over my hands, and I really loved that frog a lot. But then God,
I hope our
my
kid doesn't.
my mom was like, we should release him back into the wild after having him for 4 years. That frog 100% died. He went from living in a mansion tank with just endless supplies of crickets, just living the high life. He was a fat boy.
How long does frogs live?
I don't know, but we had him for 4 years. And then, I released him at a different place that I caught him. It was a whole different lake.
Oh, baby.
So he was probably just, his mind was fucking blown.
He was lost.
Yeah, I feel bad. I hope I mean, he got big. He was a big boy, so maybe he became like the boss hog of that little pond I released him in. I hope he did.
He's the king. He's the king of the pond right now.
I hope he didn't get eaten by a snake.
He's still alive.
But maybe.
He's the old wise frog in the pond.
Maybe. But what I was saying is, like, I think we've been so disconnected from nature that, like, if there was a possibility to have a sixth sense, I think it's like I don't know. I think as like regular people, we've diminished that maybe part of our brain that maybe that's like the next evolution for humans is like,
God, I hope not.
well, you want to know what's most likely going to happen here with all the technology and AI and all this shit that's happening. This is what's probably going to happen. Okay. In 20, 30 years, maybe less, but I'm just spitballing here. They're going to have fucking AI robots that will just be able to look at you and just read if you're telling the truth or not. Like,
I don't want that.
Pretty much read your mind. So
I don't want that.
It's going to happen, you know? Like, you're going to be like, no, I didn't rear end that. We're not even going to be
basically just lie detectors.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, that is not true. You're a fucking liar. Ticket. No, I don't know, but we're not even going to be driving cars in the next 30 years probably. It's like it's going to be illegal.
I mean, yeah, the fact that we have self-driving cars in LA right now, I'm like, in the next 5 years, of course there's still going to be people driving their car because not everybody's going to afford to have a self-driving car, you know? Like, that's just a fact. But and also you have all these vintage cars that people are not going to get rid of.
No, but once it gets to a point where like 80% of people have self-driving cars, there's going to be this whole grid of cars. Like, they're going to all know where another car is because they're all going to be on the same system. And if there's that one person driving this vintage Mustang down the road listening to fucking Motley Crue, that guy becomes like a free radical in this perfectly cohesive ecosystem of like cars that are on this, like,
speaking of cars in the future, you know how everybody always was like, oh my god, flying cars in 30 years we're gonna have flying cars, you know? That's all what you always heard.
I was still hoping for that too.
I don't.
That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Why?
Listen, yeah, I guess it would suck.
Listen.
We're like, fuck, a car crashed into our building yesterday.
Literally. And like, you know how hard it is to become a pilot? Because as soon as you're like, just if you're colorblind, which like 50% of males are, you're not allowed to be a pilot. Yeah. Imagine if you're fucking in a sorry for cursing. Imagine if you're in a car that flies and everybody is flying. It's gonna be chaos.
Well, I mean, have you seen Star Wars?
Chaos.
You know, when they have all the flying cars in that city and they're like on different levels is different, like.
Well, I just thought of what was that movie called that we watched with
The Fifth Sense?
Yeah.
No, The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element, yeah.
Are we
never talked about that.
Yeah, I know we didn't, but we have 5 senses.
We have smell, taste,
sight, hearing,
touch.
Okay. I'm like, wait, Fifth Element, 6 senses. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, Fifth Element. And he was in the movie The Sixth Sense.
Ooh.
Ghosts are real. Magic is real.
I've never seen that movie.
You never seen the fucking Sixth Sense?
No, I know the plot twist.
You no, shut up.
I know the plot twist, but
I've never seen it?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
We're watching it tonight. No, we actually are watching it tonight. We're watching it tonight. Don't worry, guys. We're watching it tonight. Really?
I don't think
we're not watching Captain America now. We're watching The Sixth Sense. I can't believe you've never seen that movie.
I don't think I've seen it. If I have seen it, I was like really young.
Oh my god.
When did it come out?
Probably 1999. I actually don't know. Maybe 1999. Maybe 2000. I don't know. It's a good movie.
I feel like if I've seen it, I saw it in like 2005, which means that I was like
it's an M. Night Shyamalan
8 years
movie.
old.
Shyamalan.
Probably not even that.
Shyamalan. I think he did that before Signs with Mel Gibson and Joaquin.
But I know the plot twist.
Well,
but I don't.
Unbelievable.
I remember like the end scene of that movie. But I don't remember the rest of the movie.
It's a good movie.
I remember I was watching Ghost.
What are you talking about? With Patrick Swayze and
Yeah.
Demi Moore? It's called Ghost.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said I've watched Ghosts.
No, I said I remember us watching Ghost.
There was an S on there. We could do a playback for our audience, but I'm pretty sure you said Ghosts.
What are you, this little lie detector sitting here?
I'm sure that there's a movie on
But
IMDb
I remember,
that's called Ghosts, and it's not the one with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
I just remember when he realized that he's a ghost. And he's ghost.
You ruined that movie too. First of all, it's a really great movie, but Michelle like kept calling Patrick Swayze out on like certain acting things he did.
I love Patrick Swayze.
What would you do if you found out you were a fucking ghost, Michelle?
Not that.
I don't know what I would do, but that would be. I guess what I would be a ghost, so nobody would see it.
I have a really hard time watching movies that are over 20 years old. And they do like a crying or shocking scene because the acting is so what is it called, theatrical.
I think what you're thinking is dramatic, but over the top.
No, like
if you're saying theatrical,
yeah,
theatrical. I think it would be better to say
but
dramatic.
It's I can't help it. It's the same with
we have to understand.
I don't like the movie Titanic.
Oh my god. You have to understand.
Acting is great. I just don't like the movie because I hate big boats.
You have to. No, the reason why it comes off so over the top maybe is because it's all on film. And when you were watching these movies, it wasn't like what you watch this shit now on these fucking goddamn HD TVs and you see everything. So now when you're watching these movies on film, the picture isn't like as perfect as newer movies that are shot, but you can like you literally see like a guy in the background with a fucking boomstick, but then when they were editing it, they're like, "Oh, you could barely see that on TV." I don't
care about that. Listen, I love Dirty Dancing. One of my favorite movies. You can't tell me that I'm just like, oh, you just watch newer movies. No, that's not true. You're the one that always wants to watch new movies. Every time I ask you what we're going to watch, you're like, I want to see something we've never seen before.
Well, yeah.
That's you.
Yes, because we've watched so many movies from like 2014.
2004, more like it. I love the beginning of the 2000 era rom-coms. Oh, so good.
Okay, what were you continue?
I don't know. You interrupted me and now I can't say. I don't know.
Good.
I was on a rant and you just like...
You were saying something about Patrick Swayze and the way he makes his faces and something about how it's dramatic, theatrical.
That scene in Ghost is hilarious.
I think it's a beautiful movie and I think his acting is great in it.
The movie is great. That scene is funny.
No, it's not funny. It's actually really sad because he found out that he's dead. So.
But it's funny.
It's not. There's nothing funny about it. It's not a comedy.
It's funny.
It's a drama.
It's really funny.
And you don't like Titanic.
I don't like Titanic.
Titanic is a good movie.
Titanic is great acting.
Titanic's a good movie.
Don't like boats.
That sounds like a you problem.
Boats. Do you know what that's from? That's from How I Met Your Mother.
Not funny. I've never watched it.
Okay.
Don't care about that show.
I don't like big boats. I don't like cruise ships. I don't like being on open water.
Okay, well that's good because this is a movie. This is a movie that you watch
based
on
on
the
a
couch.
true event.
Yeah, but it's a movie. So if you don't like big boats,
Leo and
then you're
Kate
not
was
gonna be
on Titanic.
So you're not gonna be
They
on a
died.
boat. But what I'm saying is, you're
not even listening to what I'm saying.
No, because it doesn't make any sense. You don't like a movie because you don't like boats.
No, because they terrify me. That movie terrifies me. Same with
fine.
how I don't like watching 2012. I don't like watching The Day After Tomorrow. I don't like watching anything zombie. That stuff just scares the shit out of me. And I don't like watching that kind of stuff.
Boring.
Sorry.
Boring.
Sorry.
Okay, well,
Too many people have died on boats, and I don't want to.
it's silly.
When you see those
It's a
like
silly outlook
big,
to have on life.
when you see
It's
those
very
like
silly.
big cruise ships that has like they're not for like passengers. They have like shipment ships that ships containers. And they're out on open water, and it's just like massive
Sorry, I fell asleep.
waves. That shit is terrifying.
Well, yeah, the ocean is scary, but that's why it's nice to watch movies that have that, because you don't have to do it. I'm not saying the ocean's not scary. The ocean is scary. The ocean's
terrifying.
Yeah. So
we've only
but
explored 2%
but is it
of
not
the ocean.
interesting just because it's terrifying you can't watch stuff with it? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, 'cause
that
it scares
literally
me.
doesn't make
It
any
gives
sense.
me nightmares.
Yes, but you're never going to be on a big boat like that.
Yeah, but it gives me nightmares.
I don't know.
It gives me a lot of anxiety.
I think it's interesting to see
It
stuff
gives me a lot of
on
anxiety.
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, guess who else gives me anxiety? You.
That's fine. We should not marry me then.
I like to torture myself, I guess.
You little beat.
We're going to watch Titanic tonight
No.
after we watch Sixth Sense.
No. You know what I want to watch?
We're not watching Captain America. Sorry.
I don't know why I got in such a mood of watching Captain America.
I don't either.
Maybe I'll just watch it by myself. I love rewatching shows. This is like the 6th time I'm rewatching Desperate Housewives.
I don't know
Great show.
why.
Great show.
It's crazy. We
So magic, do you believe in it?
yeah, I do. I think the fact that we're alive on this planet out in fucking space is magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy.
Do you believe people that claim that they can see ghosts?
I think there's a lot of people that are bullshit artists, but honestly, I think it goes back to like being in touch with a part of your
Brain.
Your brain, or like
How big is the percentage of the brain that we use? Is it like 10%?
I don't know.
I think it's like we only use 10% of our full brain.
We don't use all of it. But I think there has to be some kind of like realm in between like our reality, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not the smartest person ever. And this is just me. But it's like when people
silent pause.
when people do like ashwagandha, or no, not ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is not a psychedelic. When people do
Shrooms?
no, not I mean I kind of, but no, it's the thing that people like travel down to like South America to do. Ayahuasca. But people talk about like, so you go down to, I don't know, I think like South America, I don't know where, somewhere. And you do it with like a
Priest?
kind of like a priest. It's like they're like a
Medicine man?
Yeah, like a medicine man, like your guide. It's your guide through it, okay?
Mhm.
And sometimes people will go down and do like, they do it in groups, but it like supposedly I think you like smoke it, and you'll like start like violently throwing up. You're just like puking. And when I say violently, it's not like you're gonna die, but you throw up or you're dry heaving, and then all of a sudden it's like it's like supposed to show you your demons. You confront them. you know? And people
when you first started
talking
talking about this, I was like, oh, maybe we should just try doing that.
No,
but then you started talking about this, and I'm like,
well, the thing
maybe that's a door I don't want to open.
It's supposed to like, it's supposed to like unlock like your, like maybe your truest self or like
your true potential.
I don't know. It's like you see all of your faults. You know, that's the reason. I mean, like every time I've done,
maybe we shouldn't open that door.
Every time I've done mushrooms, I've had an awful experience. Every time I've done it, it's
because you see your true self.
I think it's because I have a lot of demons. You know.
Yeah.
And
I just feel like doing that, if you're not prepared to deal with that, then that's gonna lead you to a deep depression.
Well, no, it's when you get to a point of your life and you keep making these same mistakes. There's a certain, like, it's like, for instance, so I quit drinking, okay,
yeah.
and it's made my life significantly better. But say in 5 years, if say that we're at a point in our marriage where we're having difficulty and I start thinking about drinking again or something, or I have a slip up and I drink again, and then I go down this rabbit hole of drinking again, and then it puts our marriage into further hardship. It's like, then it becomes like, okay, I have this reoccurring problem of like, I'll resort to like drugs and alcohol when things get tough, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that means there's something like inherently broken in me, and I'm not able to fix myself. And it's like, so why do I find myself keep going back to these things that I know are going to only make me worse and like less of a person and only make my life harder? And there's what it is like when you go down there and like do this ayahuasca, it's supposed to like, you see yourself for who you really are and like all of the things that are holding you back and those demons. And it's like, you either break through them and you see the light on the other side. I've heard people talk about their experiences and they're all kind of different, but it's like kind of the same thing that I feel like I can take away from what I've heard people talk about doing it. It's like you're confronted with like your true self and all of your faults.
Yeah.
And you fucking either go through that and come out on the other side as a better person, or you don't. And but it seemed like there was one story I heard in particular, and the first night the guy did it, it's like he saw his demons, but he like didn't confront them. He just like cried and like wasn't able to do it. And then
that'll be me.
And then he did it again the next day, and he like confronted them, and he said that he felt like this, like he felt like he defeated them, I guess.
Interesting.
And I think there's something really interesting about it.
I don't know what my demons would be.
Probably a big boat.
Natural disasters and a big boat and a zombie.
Dennis Quaid in Day After Tomorrow.
But he's a zombie.
You know that Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal, because he played his son.
Yeah.
In that movie, they never met each other on set.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember they were saying that?
Yeah, I remember.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy.
So wild. Like they didn't do a table.
Because I saw that interview when they were talking about it. They were like, "Oh yeah, I was your dad."
Like you didn't do a table read for the script. Like,
that's crazy. That's insane.
So weird. Ayahuasca.
No, I've always been super scared of natural disasters.
Yeah.
Don't know where that stems from.
Probably from the Thailand thing.
Probably.
That's 100%. Like, how would that not be? You guys were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So, and then there was like a bunch of people, like Swedish people that passed away, and that was like literally you guys were supposed to be there for that same time period.
Yeah.
That right there, clear cut. You were what, 8 years old? How old were you?
No, I was in 2004, so it was December 2004, so I was 7.
Okay. So it's like you're old enough to have like a distinct memory of that time.
Yeah.
And like to
I just remember like the couple of years after that, because we went in January of 2008 instead. So we went there a month after, and we saw like all of the destruction.
That's freaking crazy to go there after that.
And like every time, because before then they didn't have like any like signal system out, like any wave breakers in the water and stuff like that, like that would like pick up if there was something coming in towards the shore. And I remember like being at the hotel, and I was so scared because every time there was like a loud noise, I just thought that, like, I just remember that whole trip I had such a hard time like relaxing.
Well, I don't know why you'd go there a month after. That sounds kind of crazy.
I mean, they had rebuilt a lot of shit.
I know, but
it was
like
crazy how much they rebuilt.
So many people died, and it's like, hey, we're gonna go there in a month.
Yeah, and it was also like we met up with some people that I don't know if we went there for that purpose, but they lost a daughter in the tsunami, and they went
there a month later.
Yeah, and I think they went there for like
to like mourn her.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. That's crazy.
But they showed us like all these photos of like this hotel that we always stayed at, and how it was like a tuk-tuk just in the reception, and everything was just chaos. Yeah. It was crazy to see, but yeah. But no, I hate natural disasters. And Sweden doesn't really have any natural disasters either. That's why it was like so, like me coming to California, like earthquakes. Was not prepared for that.
I feel like there's more natural disasters on places closer to the equator. Because I feel like there's fluctuations in the weather.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not a fucking scientist, and I
like the only thing that we've had is like forest fires.
Yeah.
Because like either like from a storm or from like electrical wiring in the forest, like getting on fire. And we did have a really big fire a couple of years ago. I mean, a couple of years before I moved, which is like probably a decade ago now. But we had firemen from all over Europe driving up to like help out with the fires and stuff. And I remember people was like saluting them basically on the street while they were driving past towns. But yeah, no, so I was never really like people didn't even know what a tsunami was. Like they did know what it was, but it wasn't like spoken of until 2004.
Well, it's just because there were so many Swedish people that died in that tsunami. But
well, did you know what a tsunami was before 2004?
Yeah, I knew what tsunamis were.
Okay, whatever.
I also was older than you, so
you were.
That, but yeah, I mean, so it's logical to fear that, but
no. And then big boats. Honestly, big boats. I'm scared of big boats because of Titanic. Because I watched that movie and now I'm scared of big boats.
We live on the San Andreas Fault, and we're due for like a massive earthquake that will break California off into the ocean. It's true.
Why do you speak such things into existence?
You think I'm the
only... I literally just told you.
You think I'm the only person that has ever said that? There's literally...
I'm terrified of these stuff. And you're like...
There's literally scientists
we're due to die.
That are saying that we're like 20 years overdue or something.
Okay, then let's move to Sweden.
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
Our lease ends in September. Let's move to Sweden.
Fine.
August. It ends in August. Let's move to Sweden.
Yeah, let's go. I'm fucking ready to go. I was ready to go yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. We're moving to Sweden. September.
August.
Let's rip up your paperwork for the green card and get the fuck out of here.
No, we don't.
Rip it up.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah, let's burn it.
No, we don't have to do that. That would just be a pain in the ass. But we need to. Honestly, we have to move to Sweden some time because we need to get EU citizenship in Sweden.
Yeah.
Also, I think beginning of either end of 2025 or beginning of 2026. I don't know the specific date, but you need to have a visa to get into Europe
Why?
because you're not European.
A passport doesn't work anymore?
No.
Why?
So like you don't have to. I mean, you can have a visa or you can have an ESTA. So you know how my parents come here? They have to have an extra piece of paper that they pay for to be able to come into the country.
So what's a passport good for?
To get on the plane, but to get into the country, you need an extra piece of paper.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Which is we should see if we can find like it's not a government. What is it called?
Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Parliament?
You're
No.
telling me Sweden's not gonna let me in without that paper?
Yeah, no, they won't.
I doubt it.
You're
We'll
gonna be
see.
like Ellie. You're gonna sit in quarantine for 21 days.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And then they're gonna give you a rabies shot.
What are they gonna do? They're gonna
Kiss your
throw
hand,
me in
chicken.
jail? Do they Swedish people? They don't even have guns, right? They don't even have like the security doesn't even have guns, right?
Yeah, they do.
They have like batons. What are they gonna do? They're gonna hit me with their stick.
It doesn't matter.
They're gonna let me
They're gonna
in.
send you on the next plane home.
I'm gonna be like, listen, motherfucker,
No,
I'm
but-
John Bauhaus, the greatest Swedish soccer player to ever grace your shitty fields. Okay.
But no, if you, I don't know, is it possible for you to get Polish? A Polish passport because you're half Polish?
Yeah, I can because my dad's a citizen, but
So if we can find like
do I want to go to Poland and do that? No.
No, you don't have to do that.
I think you have to go there.
No, you don't. You can contact a Polish, what is it called? The thing that-
Embassy.
embassy. Like how I have Swedish embassy in Santa Monica, you can contact a Polish embassy and be like, "Hey, these are my paperwork. I need to get a passport because if you get
They're gonna be like,
listen,
they're
if
gonna be
you
like,
get
your
a
dad's
Polish
been missing for
if you
for
get a Polish
50 years.
passport, you don't ever have to like struggle with any type of paperwork of staying in Sweden.
I know. I already know this, baby. I've already looked this up. I know I could do it. I just
Then we should do it.
maybe
We should do it.
maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't.
It's a good first step
Okay. Yeah.
towards moving to Sweden.
We also need to set up our dental and our healthcare provider now that we have insurance.
We do. When this releases, sorry, I'm just like flying. I'm so much enjoying these chairs. We used them one day and then we just kept using them. We do. When this episode is released, we have health insurance
Yeah.
and dental.
Wait, what do
I
you mean
need
when this episode really? Like we have it right now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying like
You keep doing that. It fucking messes with my head. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like it's April 6th today. Like
It is.
we got it on April 1st.
what did I think we got on April 4th?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
yes, we do have that now. I do need a dental cleaning. I'm overdue for that.
I don't believe the Earth is flat either. That was a joke.
Baby, I think everybody
I just wanted to
realized
clarify that. I don't want people to be watching this. They're like, does he really believe the Earth is flat? I don't believe it. I've seen the horizon when I was on an airplane.
Yeah,
I
great. But yes, we do have insurance. No, we do have. What's it called?
we have
Health insurance.
health
Yeah,
insurance.
insurance. Which honestly feels weird. I haven't had insurance since I moved here in 2018.
Well, we just have to use it. Like we need to go get a dental cleaning, and then we need to do. I want to go.
You need
I
to
want
fix your back tooth.
Well, I honestly, since I've been doing the oil pulling, like I've been doing that for a
Mhm.
couple months now, my teeth feel fucking great. By the way, let me just say
well, you
this.
should get a quote.
Let me
anyways.
just say this. I stopped using fluoride, and you guys can think what you want, but like they've proven that fluoride like lowers your IQ. I know it's in all of our drinking water. I know that it's in all of like our toothpaste and stuff, but I found this really good Japanese toothpaste. Forget the name of it. It's like $37 for one tube, which is crazy. But it's really good toothpaste, and I've been using it for a couple months, and then I've been doing oil pulling. And this is like the best my teeth have ever felt. And look at like I thought if I stopped using fluoride, my teeth would get like yellow. No.
Let me see. They look a little bit green.
Shut up. They don't. But I wanted to cut fluoride completely out as much as we can because our Brita filter like doesn't Our Brita filter doesn't filter out fluoride.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I want the next big purchase I want to get. I mean, I'm like obviously.
It's a dress form for Michelle.
No, no.
An embroidery machine for Michelle.
I wanted to get an osmosis like water filter machine, a reverse osmosis.
How much are those?
A good one, a couple thousand. A cheap one, like 800. But the cheap ones only make like maybe 2 glasses of these. And I guess it wastes a lot of water.
24 hours?
No, I mean like every time you filter it.
Oh.
I mean what I was thinking, we get one of those, and then I would filter the water and then pour it into the Brita thing, and then like double filter it into that, and then just always keep that full.
What about like the coal filter?
Well, I think the Brita filters have those like that coal thing in it, but it's the reverse osmosis like makes the water the most pure, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know how it does it. I don't know, but it takes the fucking fluoride and all the bullshit that's in Los Angeles water out.
Interesting.
But I really want to do that. I want to like completely try to like have zero intake of fluoride, because it's not good for you. I mean, and anyone that wants to argue that, it's just like it's proven that it's not good for you. So I'm like on this like biohacking journey.
You've been on a biohacking journey for the past 2 years.
Well, I'm doing red light therapy, the near infrared every morning while I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about it.
Do it.
So I started taking.
I'm gonna talk about it.
I feel like it's very controversial to discuss, because people are going to be like, you're taking a textile dye. But I started, which it used to be. That's what it first was. But I'm taking methylene blue.
Show me your tongue.
I started taking it like 2 months ago. I'll take it like 4 or 5 days on, and then I take 2 days off. I'm getting it from a company called Troscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes in like a little troche. That's what they call it. And you like put it up in your gum. It dissolves. And I'm telling you, it's fucking wild. Like when I dissolve it in my gums, like I feel like my brain comes online. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's not like it's not like a drug, or it's not like a, I don't know, like a methy like upper type of thing. It's just like I feel like the lights turn on in my head. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
And it helps support your like mitochondria, which again, I'm just like not the smartest person in the world, but like I think like 94% of people in the world, or I don't know if it's 94% of people in the world or 94% of people in like the United States, but they have mitochondria dysfunction. You know, and I don't know, just, I mean, like, I've always struggled with, like, mood swings, and, like, I'm, like, up and down, and sometimes I'll be really happy, and then there's days where I'm just feeling extremely depressed, and since I've been taking this, I feel more of, like, a stable
You feel
mood.
more leveled?
Yeah, more leveled. And so, I mean, I would don't recommend just taking this, because I think you're not supposed to take this if you're on any SSRIs, because you can have like serotonin syndrome or something. It can fuck you up. But the place I'm getting it through is Troscriptions. They're pharmaceutical grade. It's like ran by 4 doctors, or who started it, like actual doctors. I think his name is Dr. David Shear.
Look at me. I don't know.
And he has patients and stuff. But if you go to his Instagram and look at him talk about this, he's actually smart. But it was first a textile dye. Yeah. Made in like fucking 1897 or something. And then they realized that it stained tissue. So then they were using it to look at like cells and stuff under the microscope, because the blue dye, like, you were able to visually see everything better. And then they realized that it was like killing viruses, I think. And so then it was used to treat malaria. And I think they gave it to soldiers in like World War I or II. And then they talked about how like piss was blue because your pee comes out blue. Not every piss, but every 3 or 4 pees that you have will be blue. But then they also used it as like an antidepressant after that. Like I think there was some cases where they were using it as like for like bipolar or like antidepressant. Again, I'm trying to like regurgitate things that I heard, but all I can speak on is like my own personal experience with it. These are the 2 things that like really stood out to me, like, or 3 things. Like I feel more clear-headed and focused, like when I'm working on stuff, like especially like auditions and things. And then I feel like my mood is more stable and just like not so like up and down, and like I don't really have like I haven't really experienced like those low depression days that I still get like stressed out and like anxious on certain things when I start thinking about my problems, but nothing to where it's like I feel depressed. And then also when I'm like working out, I don't know the exact fucking science behind it, but I can literally lift like way heavier than I usually could.
Yeah.
Like what I'm benching is what I was able to bench when I was like over 200 pounds. And I'm like, this morning I weighed myself and I was like 178. And I'm able to bench what I was benching when I was over 200 pounds. And so and it's like, I'm able to lift that weight, but like even a little bit easier right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's fucking crazy. But again, I'm not recommending anyone go out there and just do this. Like obviously, do your research and like look it up. But I know there's so many people like they're gonna be like, oh my God, you're taking a fucking textile dye. You're crazy. I don't know.
Maybe.
I like to do experiments with myself. Like
he does.
Like listen, I used to fucking do a bunch of drugs, like bad drugs that could have had like all these different things in it.
Yeah.
All these different things. So to do this was the first synthetic drug that was approved. You know, that like literally this was like the methylene blue was the first synthetic drug ever approved.
Mm-hmm.
And if you Google it, it's like if you Google certain things about it, it'll be like, oh, there's not enough studies done. But there's like a lot of information, like backed studies that have been done on it. And there's just like a lot of people that started, like the Brian Johnson guy. I don't know what your viewpoints on him. Some of the stuff he does might be a little.
Who's that?
Brian Johnson. Remember the documentary you watched on him?
Oh.
There's some things he does that are questionable for sure, but I mean, like he's seeking literally trying to slow down his aging, and he's trying all sorts of different.
How did he become so rich?
I think he made an app or something and then sold it. I don't know, but like the blood transfusions with his son. I mean, I don't know. It's a little crazy, but
it was funny because when we were watching that, it was like I was giving blood to my dad, and then my son was giving blood to me, and I was like, and then a 4-year-old was giving blood to my son.
Well, he didn't say that. But yeah, he started adding this part of his like procedures, he's added that into his laundry list of things that he's doing. But and he's doing like tests on his like vitals and all like his everything, like every day he's constantly testing where he's at. And so that to hear that he's doing this too, it's like I'll be able to see what his results are from taking it to him. But so far, I mean, like I've no negative side effects, you know?
Yeah.
But again, it's like people are going to say what they want to say. I don't want to take antidepressants or like SSRIs. I don't want to, because I've seen, especially in my family, people that get like dependent on those, and it's like I'm not doing that. I'm just not. So I'm trying to find another route that could potentially help me.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm a work in progress.
Yeah.
So
You're our little bunny.
I'm a bunny.
He's our test rabbit.
I'm a little bunny.
So. But yeah.
I like it.
You also take the sleeping Trojans. Troches.
I did that a couple times, and
Troyans.
that was with the cordyceps mushrooms, and then I think it was like CBD and melatonin.
Oh yeah, with those.
Yeah, I only got like a 1 pack of that.
Okay.
And which, I mean, what was weird about that is like if I took it one night,
It was good.
I slept really good, I had like vivid dreams and like a deep sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I took it 2 days in a row, that next morning I had like a headache from it. And it like I couldn't shake it. And then so it was like, it was more beneficial to like take a break from taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd take it, get like a really good night's sleep, and then take a break from it. And that seemed the best for me. But again, like, I feel like I've been sleeping a lot better lately.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like, even without that, I feel like I've been sleeping better.
Yeah.
And I think the methylene blue that I'm taking is supposed to help with your, like, it's supposed to help with your sleep. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys?
I had since Tuesday last week, I for like a whole week I had such a headache every day.
Yeah.
And it was the same place. Like, it was right here on my right temple every day. And it was like, it came like from out of nowhere. And it just like, I felt so sick. Like, I felt like so warm. And it kind of started like a couple weeks ago. I got this magnesium thing.
The magnesium powder that you're taking?
Yeah.
It's like a magnesium complex with like a couple different ones.
Yeah. But it was supposed to help you sleep. And I feel like every time I took it before bed, because you're supposed to take it like right before bed, I felt like I slept kind of poorly. And I always had a headache afterwards. Yeah. And I was like...
So did you stop taking it?
Kind of.
Well, I take is it magnesium glyphosate?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I think is supposed to promote sleeping.
Yeah.
I take that with a vitamin D. I take like 2 or 3 drops of vitamin D with that magnesium right before bed. I've been doing that for months now. Yeah. And I feel like that's helped me a little bit with sleeping. Like, I used to wake up and pee like 2 or 3 times a night. Yeah. Now I maybe wake up once. Yeah. Maybe. Sometimes there's some nights where I don't wake up and pee. I have
never in my entire life, and I know you're pissed at me for this, I have never in my entire life had trouble sleeping. Yeah. Like, I fall asleep fairly quickly. I pass out. I sleep through the whole night. And then I wake up and I'm happy and everything. And I feel like for the past, like, I kind of feel like it started when you went to Atlanta in October.
When you started having trouble sleeping?
Mm-hmm. I slept maybe like 5 hours a night. Yeah. And it changed my mood completely. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why it happened, because like, even when you were gone and shot weight with me, you were gone for like a month and a half. And I didn't have any trouble sleeping back then, you know? Mm. So I don't know why it happened now, because it was also like the first month of you leaving.
Well, what I noticed for me when I started not sleeping as long through the night was like when I really started working out. Yeah. Like, also, I have to add this into it. Like, when I started working out, I religiously took like protein powder and pre-workout, like religiously. And there's a shitload of caffeine in pre-workout. And I stopped doing protein powder and pre-workout probably like 2 years ago now, maybe almost 3.
No, I would say 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I stopped taking pre-workout, stopped taking protein powder, because it's just like there is so much bad shit in both of those things.
I'm so happy you stopped doing that.
Yeah. And now it's like I still drink. I've tried to minimize myself to 2 cups of coffee a day, because there was some days that I drank 3 or 4 cups of coffee, and when I did that, I noticed my sleep was a little fucked up. Yeah. Like, and now that I've cut down, like if I have 1 cup of coffee, I notice I sleep better at night. But it's like I find myself I get pretty tired around 7 or 8. Like it's like sleepy eyes, you know. But it's like I wake up early, and I think that's just kind of the deal. It's like if you're waking up at like 5, like you're gonna be tired by fucking 7 or 8.
Yeah, and I did have there was one day that I was working and I had a really bad headache at work, and it was like it started as a headache, it turned into a migraine, and then it went back to a headache.
What do you think that was? Why do you think that was happening?
I don't know. Because, like, I was drinking a lot of water to, like, make sure that... Because at first I was like, oh, I'm dehydrated. I haven't drinking enough water. So I had my water bottle.
Did you put some Baja Celtic salt in that bitch?
I didn't put Baja Celtic because I didn't have that at work. But I put salt in it.
What kind? Well, you can't just put, like, table salt in it. Did you really put table salt in it?
No, I put table salt in my mouth.
You're not... No, that's bad. Like the iodized salt is not. It's not good for you.
Anyways, and then I also
that's
put
probably
liquid
why you've been
IV
having
in
a headache,
1 cup.
baby. That's probably literally why you've been.
You're talking about it like I'm putting it every day on my mouth.
Well, don't do that anymore. If you don't have the salt that we have in that pantry, the salt that I buy specifically for our water, don't do it. Because
I'm just gonna start carrying salt in my purse.
Well, no, I'm being serious because that the table salt is fucking bad for you. It's not good for you.
Anyways,
please stop.
I came home, and like it got 1,000 times worse. And I also felt like during that week, our home was like really badly ventilated. Like I think we had to change our air filter in our air purifier because that one was bad.
Is someone calling you?
No, it's recording.
No, someone is calling you.
Oh, I don't know.
But just it's fine. But no, this is so our washer and dryer. We have a little tube that connects to the back of it, and then that takes that tube up into the top, and then that like blows out onto our balcony. Onto our balcony. It's like it's like an air ventilation system in the roof of the fucking place or whatever. Yeah. But that tube was disconnected. Mm-hmm. On top. Remember how we were like I was trying to put it up in there? I didn't realize that the bottom part was disconnected. So it didn't even matter that we connected the top part to the ceiling because it was blowing out of the back, and that's why there was so much moisture. Yeah. And so what I did was
I made a request and they haven't really.
Yeah, they haven't came. But anyways, I dried up the floor because it was really moist, and there was there was the lint from the dryer that like blew out everywhere. So I cleaned that up. I put the fan on it for like, it was like 4 or 5 days straight. I just kept it on there, and I reconnected that thing, and it feels less like muggy in here now, doesn't it? Like,
but also our air purifier filter was really full, so we got new ones.
Because we had that through the fires and stuff.
Yeah. Too. So it was way overdue to change that, and I feel like it made a difference.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I told Andrew, I was like, I just feel like our apartment doesn't feel ventilated right now. It feels very like the air feels very heavy in here.
Well, when you were at work,
but that day that I came home, I just went home. I started feeling even more sick when I came home. I went in the shower, and then I just went to bed, and then I slept for 13 hours.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Which felt so good.
So she went to you went to bed pretty like right when you got home after you showered. I fed the dogs, took them out. Yeah. And then I went into bed probably like 2.5 hours after you did. Yeah. And we fucking slept for a long time, and that felt so good.
It felt so good.
I still feel rested from that night. Like
to
this day.
I feel like I need like 2 more nights of those.
I'm down to do it, but I like sleep is so important now. Yeah. Like I'm getting to my age because like I can literally run on 5 or 6 hours. I've been doing it for like 10 years. Like I don't know why. I wake up at a certain time and I feel wide awake.
Well, did you know like they did a study of like, oh, the human body needs 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, you know?
Well, I mean, I know it does.
That's based on men. Women needs 9 to 10 hours of sleep every night.
Yeah, sure, babe.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding.
This is an actual study. Because women use more of their brain capacity during the day. Also, women live in a 28-day cycle. What are you trying to say that men are stupid? Yeah.
Okay.
Women are better at multitasking.
Okay. We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see? It's a study.
I'm going to put you to a test. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I know.
But that's the thing too. Like most studies about like how human basic needs are based on men and not women.
Fucking pants. I'd have to see the study on that.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
No, I'm just talking about in general.
I'll pull it up.
The study that most studies are done on men and not women. I'd like to see the studies on that.
Okay, I'll show you the study.
Okay.
But I do think it's time that we.
We're not done. We're not done. How long have we gone? 2 hours?
How many long? I don't believe women are smarter than men. How many long?
2 hours.
I get
2 hours and 6 minutes. I see it.
8 minutes.
That's 6.
That's an 8.
That is not. That's a 6. That's 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Well, I'm blind. I don't know where you trust me. Oh, baby.
What were we talking
crazy
about?
Girl.
What were you talking about?
You crazy girl.
What were we talking about?
That women needs more sleep than men.
Before that.
That 13-hour night made me feel really good, and I need more of those.
Oh, hold on, I'm not done yet. No, so what I was saying was that when I started working out, I was doing the pre-workout. I was drinking a shitload of caffeine, and I think that's kind of like a main instigator why I wasn't sleeping as much, because I was consuming so much caffeine.
Probably, yeah.
And then even now, especially like as of recently, of like not drinking, especially when I first quit drinking, I was like, I turned to like, oh, I'm just gonna drink a fuckload of coffee. Like I was drinking coffee all day. Like that's all I was doing. And so now I'm at like this, I feel like a good spot.
It's so easy to do it when you're at home and you have your own coffee machine too.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh yeah, it was so good. Let me just do another one, and then.
Yeah. And you, by the time you have 4 and it's fucking 10 o'clock and you're like, zip, 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 and crazy.
Because I know the same with like matcha. Matcha doesn't contain as much caffeine, but I just found out or figured out like a good recipe for our matcha powder that we have, which is a grade A ceremonial matcha. It's a good organic matcha. And I was like, I feel like it's very bitter and very earthy in the flavor. And I was like, I kind of want to have a sweetener, but I also don't want the sweetener to be bad for me.
Yeah.
And like I figured out if I use vanilla bean paste and honey, that's like a good flavor and sweetener that makes the matcha.
Is that what you did to the one that we just had?
Yeah.
It was delicious.
It was delicious.
It was really good.
And also I figured out that usually when I just boiled my tea, the tea boiler, it goes up to like a 210 Fahrenheit degree. But when you do matcha, it should only be between 140 to 160. Otherwise, you burn the matcha, and that gives it a different flavor. So I have to stop the tea maker when it's like at a different temperature, because we have a little thermometer.
Thermometer.
Yeah.
You're a little whiz kid with that thing over there, huh? That's pretty cool.
But
I didn't know you were doing science projects.
What my point was that like it takes me a while to make them because it's so many like different components, because I also steam the milk, which is a whole other thing. But
because it takes you so long, you don't have as many.
No, but I'm like, since I can make them at home now in a way that I really enjoy, I'm like, it's hard for me to say, no, okay, that's the last one.
Yeah. Well, how much caffeine is in one thing?
I think 30 milligrams, which like a cup of coffee would be 100.
Okay. Well, that's not that bad, but...
yeah, I know, but still.
But also, like I mean, you drink a lot of tea, too, and green tea has quite a bit of caffeine.
I mean, technically, matcha is green tea.
Okay, well... I bought you that new green tea that's like...
It was good.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Because apparently tea
is dangerous for you.
Tea bags have like 11 million microplastics in one cup or something.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Sad, but...
But I bought this brand, which now I'm forgetting the name of it.
That
but it's
Swedish brands that are sold in Sweden has different regulations than American brands.
I don't know. I don't want to just take your word for it.
No. I'm just saying, like, I could see that being possible, because also like most teas that we have, not the ones that you buy.
Yeah, but what was
Your
the
sleep
twinning
tea.
one? What is the twining?
Twilings.
That was one of the tea brands that came up that said they have microplastics in their
Yes,
bags.
I get that. But also imagine if you're selling a tea here in America and you're selling a tea in Europe, they have different regulations.
Not against microplastics.
You don't know that?
I'm pretty sure the only thing it's like about the chemicals you spray on your food and and the dyes that we put in our food. You guys ban those things.
I don't know.
I
trust Europe to be.
That's you. Okay, so
Europe was more advanced when it came to like banning
you're telling
plastic
me.
and stuff
So
as
you're
well.
you're telling me right now that you're just gonna be like, I think it's. I would just look it up. How about that?
I'm going to
because
look it
the twinling or whatever you said,
up. Twilings.
that brand was #1 on like the most microplastics in their tea
Yeah.
bags.
But that's the thing, because the flavors we have here, they don't even sell
Doesn't
those
matter.
flavors
It's about
in
the
America.
bag. Is what I'm saying. It's about the bag. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they don't even have the flavors
Well,
here,
don't
maybe
argue
that.
against it if you don't
bad.
know. I'm saying.
Oh my God, you're arguing because you don't know.
Because it was the top brand that came up that had the most microplastics in it.
Okay. But I still like it.
That's fine. I'm just saying we should try to get rid of all. Why did we go to all glass containers and we got rid of all of our
Because it's
plastic
pretty.
bullshit?
Plastic is
No.
ugly.
No, because the microplastics.
Plastic is ugly. Ugly. I love
God.
you.
I love you too.
Country boy, I love you.
I'm not gonna laugh at it. I'm not. I'm trying to have serious conversations with you.
I am sorry. I am so tired.
This is
I
your
am
fault.
so tired.
And you wanted to do Pilates first,
Yeah, that was great.
and you didn't do a meeting with me in the morning because you sat on your phone.
We're gonna do a meeting after
No,
this.
there's no. I'm not doing a meeting now.
Why not?
That was supposed to be this morning.
We're doing a meeting.
I have things I need to do. I'm leaving.
Where are you leaving to?
I'm gonna go do stuff that's important.
Okay, that's
I'm gonna go do many
okay.
important
Right
things.
now, let's just wrap it up, because right now we're just bickering.
It's between us only. No, this is it. We're not getting off here until we tell the audience something that's between us only.
Andrew likes his toes licked. I'm just kidding.
You've never licked my toes. I literally licked
we
your
don't
toe.
know. We don't know if he likes his toe licked, because I'm not licking
I
them.
licked your toe like 2 weeks ago when you were sitting right there.
That's gross. Don't do that.
I did, and it was after you worked all day too. Your just toe was
Ugh.
out. Remember,
Ugh.
you were sitting like right there, and your
Piggies
foot
were
was up,
out.
and I was.
See, I don't have.
I was sitting
don't
right
hate
there.
I don't hate feet. I don't mind feet. Feet are fine.
Well,
But I don't want to. I don't want to lick them.
We have nice feet.
We have
both of
really
us.
nice feet.
Both of us actually have really nice feet.
Yeah, we have good feet. But
I wonder
no,
if our kid will have nice feet, or if it's gonna be like two positives make
it will
a
be
negative.
two. It will be two lefties.
Two left foots. Foot. Two left feet.
Two left.
Two left foots. He'll have two left foots. Two left
God.
foots for the boy.
Every time you're mocking my pronunciations. But you tell him something about us.
Okay,
between us.
something. Something.
End it on a good note.
Something. Let me think really quick. Remember the guy we were talking to yesterday at the party?
Yeah.
And he reminded me so much of me.
Yeah.
And his
Awesome.
wife reminded me so much of you.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Thought that was funny too.
Yeah.
But she was a realtor,
Yeah, she was a realtor, but creative,
and she liked stevia in her coffee.
which is not good for you. When I heard that, I just wanted to say that is not
That's
good for
bad.
you. Yeah.
That's not bad. Just sugar and coffee.
God. Sugar in general is like, you just, any artificial sugar, any candy. Oh my God. I can go on and on and on and on. And I'm so thankful that like we're fucking give it here.
Thank you.
But
I'm right now. Can I tell you about the book?
I guess.
And then we'll end it.
No, we're not going to end it. You can talk about it and I want to hear it, but I want to end this on like something between us only.
I don't even know what that means.
It means exactly what it is. Between us only thing. People signed up for this podcast to hear about us, not like our day-to-day lives that we post on social media, but like things that we're dealing with. But tell me about the book. What part you're at? You look
I'm
pretty
right
far.
now on book 3. And
Lover Awakened, my book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bella just entered her kneading.
Her kneading
Mm.
and
Crazy. Crazy. No, but that's you talked about how you were gonna go get high in that book with V and Fury because they were smoking in Fury's room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you were talking about red smokes, I think.
Yeah. Devil salad.
That's just what I thought about when you said that.
Um.
But no,
You're enjoying the book though.
I'm enjoying the book a lot.
That's good.
I'm almost done with it. I mean, not really. I have like 1/3 left of the book.
It gets real wild at the end.
That's crazy. I can't wait.
I
I can't wait.
Okay, but let's.
Okay, but not something between us only.
Yeah, we can end on this note. Jinx.
Jinx.
Minnesota. That was
And
good.
that's it. God.
Goodbye. That would have been perfect.
No.
No, but I think we need to start bringing more of like
Personal stuff.
well, just things that we're dealing with, and like
I feel
there's
like we bring in
there's
a
some
bars
there's
just
some very personal things that we're not ready to talk about
Yeah.
because it's nobody's fucking business.
Wow.
Back off. But
Whoa.
no, but like how have I been the past couple weeks? Like I'm still OCD, you know.
I'm always OCD.
Yeah.
Cleaning wise. I love it though. Listen.
Do you love me more
I-
after 5 years, or do you love me less?
Oh, I love you so much more.
You do love me more?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I love you more too. If you would have said anything else,
Is-
I would have been very sad.
No, it's like when we first met, I loved how funny you were and how kind you were. But like now it's a whole different kind of love because you make me feel secure and you make me feel like I feel supported from you, and I feel like there's nothing I can't tell you because you are my best friend. And like we have so much fun with each other, and we have like our humor has kind of come to the same wavelength of like because you were even saying that thing about like when we were over at did we talk about that last time?
When we went the movie night with
Yeah.
Zach, Ella, Micah, and Alex.
Yeah.
I don't think we did, but tell the story because that's a good little thing.
I don't. You tell the story. I wasn't even in the
Well,
conversation.
Alex. How did he say this? I was talking to
I
Alex.
feel like we talked about it.
I don't think so.
No, we did
No,
talk
we
about-
really didn't. We never. We wanted to discuss it, and I don't think we brought it up.
No, we did discuss it when I
Well,
talked
then
about
I think we just talked about the movie.
multipass. Yeah, we talked about it because I remember making that joke.
Oh yeah.
I think it's in the title too.
Well, anyways, yeah, it is. We already talked about it. No, but going back to like how you feel like our humor is now on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
It that's like a perfect way to put it. And telepathy. We read each other's minds.
No, I think it's just
Jinx,
like
you owe me soda.
we both like it's
like
just
Stop. Shut up. We're best friends.
What
I was gonna say. Okay, sorry.
I don't remember what I was gonna say now. No, what I was gonna say was when two people like grow, especially now we've been together for half a decade, and I think it's pretty clear how you see either you grow together or you grow apart. And I think it's so clear how we have grown together and kind of melted into this one person. I mean, listen, we've
melted into this one person. We're like,
we were at James and Grace's farewell party the other day, and we were sitting down at this little table, and we were sitting talking, and Andrew kept saying, "Oh, should we go and mingle, and should we do blah blah blah?" And I was like, we could leave these seats. Me being lazy.
We could leave this island that we're stranded on.
No, I was like, we could leave these seats, but like neither of us are gonna be like, oh, let's go talk to this person, because we're both kind of introverted.
Well, we just didn't know anybody there other than James and Grace. We didn't know anybody, and
you could clearly tell that a lot of the people there already knew each other.
Everybody, I felt like
everybody knew each other.
I felt like everybody knew each other. They were all like, "Hey, it's so good to see you." And
yeah,
stuff, which is great. But I kept looking over at Michelle, and I was like, "Are we being dicks that we're not talking to people?" Like,
no. And I told him, I was like, "Listen, we showed up. We're having a good time. It doesn't matter who we talk to, as long as we're just like, we're here to support, and like we're here for them. We're not here to mingle."
Well, no, of course, and
just like,
and I, of course, I agree with you 100%. But then there's like I don't know. There's like, I just feel like there's like an etiquette to like.
But then I felt like our little corner when we were sitting felt so inviting that we had so many people just come up and be like, "Hey, can we sit down here?" Yeah, and then they start talking to us.
Yeah, we met. I mean, we had a great talk with Troy.
Yeah,
that he was the most entertaining, I think.
Yeah,
the whole evening.
Yeah,
he had some stories to tell. It was really interesting.
A lot of insight.
I felt like I was looking at myself in like, I don't want to be rude, maybe 30 years.
He said he was. Oh, no, he said he has been married for 34 years.
Yeah, I mean, he has a son that's my age.
Yeah.
I think his son was, because his son
I
was
feel
there.
like he was like late 50s to mid 60s.
Yeah, but he was really cool. He's a really cool dude. I really enjoyed talking with him.
Yeah.
But
mid 50s to mid 60s.
Yeah, but we were sitting there, and we're just like, I felt like we needed to mingle, but then I just you're like the only you were the only person I did really want. I mean, I wanted to talk to James and Grace, but it was their party.
But they were busy. Like, I didn't want to be hovering over them, because that's what I felt like we would be doing if we
got up.
And I was like, if we get up and just like try to mingle for 5 minutes, I'm like, people are gonna take these seats, and then we're just gonna have to be standing in a corner instead, and we're gonna do the exact same thing, but we're gonna be standing instead. I was like, I'd rather be sitting down.
You sound so negative.
No, I had a great time though.
Oh no, I did too.
That's the thing, like, but I feel like sometimes you don't have to be the most social butterfly at parties.
No, I know. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to like force myself to get up, and that's why I didn't do it.
You wanted to force me.
Well, I just thought if you and I both got up and we hovered around, it didn't seem like we were just in the corner. Only like we were just talking and laughing to ourselves the whole time. It looked like we were like people watching and laughing at people.
Yeah, that's not what we were doing, but
yeah,
we had a good time. And that's what I was trying to say was it's so great that in a room full of people we found each other the most
entertaining,
like as a comfort.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's how you want it to be.
Yeah.
We work as a unit.
We're a good team.
We come as a unit. But, and on that note, this unit is signing off.
I guess that's an okay between us only thing to leave everybody on. All right.
Yeah.
I'll let her off the hook. Well, my name's Andrew. I like licking toes. This is my wife, Michelle.
No. You like getting your toes licked.
No, I like licking your toes. You've never licked my toes once.
No, I know.
Okay, well don't say I like getting my toes licked if you're not gonna be licking toes.
Well, I don't like my toes licked.
You don't ever stop me.
I don't like it. It tickles, and I'm not tickly.
Yeah, but you never stop me.
It's crazy. No, I don't like it.
I've done it like maybe 4 times.
I don't like when you like try to kiss me on my ear either. That tickles the shit out of me.
When I stick my tongue in your ear.
No, that's disgusting.
No, that's what I try to do. I try to stick my tongue in your ear,
gross.
and then you start laughing.
It's gross.
You don't ever. You
even when you like just try to like kiss me on my neck, like that tickles. With your beard, oh my god, that tickles so much. And I'm not ticklish, but that shit tickles so much. Crazy. But anyways. Bye.
Have a great
day.
Bye-bye.
sobriety.